So I welcome you here. We had a swell time yesterday. If you need to go back to what was shared yesterday, it will be helpful to you. I'll just run through it, just scroll through, and by the time my honorable colleague, come on board, he will probably just give you a summary of what we did yesterday. Yesterday, by the end of yesterday, he was given not just hacking fish, but hacking kingfish, by the professor that moderated yesterday's training. So without wasting time, I will just share my screen and scroll through what was done yesterday. Just scroll through. Then he will handle the aspect of where we stopped yesterday precisely. Then we will proceed to today's training. Yesterday we did something like this, and we were able to meet each other. Our objective was our experience was stated. What we expect from each of you was well stated, and we went into just telling you the state of fisheries in Nigeria, how that there's a gap in production, and that's why we need you to be in that industry. We tell you different tilapia, different fish that we have, and that's tilapia fish. We have the acting ponds, that's the acting kingfish here. We also have, method of bringing water from the river to your ponds. You need all of this facility. This is a concrete tank, as we mentioned. We mentioned yesterday. Then we have the recirculation system also. Then, of course, the tank farm. And he explained to you that this is the hinge thing, the hinge thing that you can establish and be able to do your turnover very quickly. The space you required is just very small. Then, of course, this is the same thing, mobile fish farm. And the 5 things that need to be in place if you're going to go commercial: the marketing, the water quality, feed quality, stocking quality, and the management. Of course, we told you the key thing that you need to know in setting up your farm, how that you need a land that's available, accessibility of the sites, marketing strategy must be accessible. And we told you that you need many of these things to make your farm, successful, and if your farm will not fail, there are about 16 things you need to know about. Keep all of those things in mind. We have explained them, and the materials will be made available to you as soon as we finish this class today. And we told you that fishes are sold in different sizes, and you just have to know which one do you want to focus your attention on. You can choose the fries. If that is your specialty, you can choose to go into fingerling. You can choose to go into juvenile production alone. You can just choose to do 300 to 500 gram alone, smoke your fish and sell it. You can go to table size. You can decide that, okay, I want to have a broodstock, farm. And that is a business of its own, broodstock farm, healthy broodstock farming. He explained all of that to you and the different operations that are in the farm. You need to know all of these ones to make a successful fish farmer. Your stocking, your feeding, your sampling, record taking, your farm stress marketing, stress management, and your harvesting, processing, and marketing. Then we told you the guidelines for stocking. All of these things were well covered yesterday. The general can attest to it. He attests to that. So there are many other things that was shown yesterday. There are a lot of videos that were shared with us yesterday. They took us right from this classroom to the farm itself. All of that was explained to us, the stocking, and the feeding regime. I think he dwelled a lot of things a lot of things were said here. That if you fail in terms of feeding, just don't bother being in fish farming, but you must get it right here, because it's going to be 70% of all the investments you're going to put in. As the former speaker that was speaking to us today, if you get it right here, you can be sure that your graph will show that you are correct along with your marketing. So different type of feed was shown to us, just running through everything that was done, how to make your decision, in the kind of feed you're going to buy, and ultimate decision is yours, and the different feed that is available, the nutritional content of the feed, how the steps you must take if you are going to have successful sampling of your disease. And record taking, wow. I personally learned a lot from the record taking, how it should be very detailed. Once you get this right here, you can be sure that you will have, this place is very good as well. If you're going to fill your form very well, what we are taught the last 3 hours, this is where to go to get it right there. Record taking weekly based on your feed, based on your fish, and the management itself was well explained to us yesterday. And we told you managing stress, because fish farm, can be very stressful. My colleague is just coming from the farm. He has had his back as if he has not been anywhere. He's been there. So he's just from the farm. You can't believe it. So, sorry, I know you will believe it. So we give a summary of what a good fish stock looks like, handling of care of it, stress management, very important. And this morning, I think we will start with harvesting, and I think we did marketing. Yes, we did harvesting and marketing. We dwell on it. And so we are here with respect to processing now. So at this point, I would like to invite our Kingfish to anchor take the first segment of today's training. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. The way you are saying, we explained yesterday, and it was, I learned a lot even just listening to everybody. So welcome back, everybody. Dr. Anthony, Adeojo Sam, good day. Jesse, welcome back. My co-facilitator, Dr. Sam, he has been awesome. I've really enjoyed, teaching this class with you. All the materials that we have here, I and Dr. Sam put it together. And, I'm really just grateful that, so you can see my screen, right?
Perfect, yes.
Great. So you're welcome to our class again. Hold on, let me just do this. Yeah, so great. Welcome everybody to our day 2, our class day 2. I hope your night was good. I hope you saw fish in the night, the way I see fish. So I just want to listen to, maybe 1 or 2 people. I will take Dr. Akubo, and if I can hear, I don't know, I'm just calling everybody doctor. Please don't be everybody general. I heard is general, I don't know. So I'll take some comments from Akubo and from Jesse. All right, so what I'm going to do is I would allow you to unmute yourselves, and you can see the questions on your screen already. What was your highlights from yesterday's class? What struck you the most in yesterday's class? What information surprised you the most? Or what do you expect from today's class? And then, as usual, I'll get a sheet of paper so that you can write your questions down as we proceed. So let me listen to you guys first before we move on to the next thing. So,
hello, can you hear me? All right, good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Sam. Nice to be here once more, and our new entrant, the host, Haji Hawa. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
You can see that I'm a special student because it's like I'm the only student here. What a privilege to be. Okay. Oh, yes, also a student. Wow.
Yes, I'm also a student.
What are you here, JJC?
I'm a JJC. You have the practical now.
So, Dr. Sam, nice to have you. At least this exercise is making me to come close to you. If you don't mind to accept me to your fold so that I'll benefit from your wealth of knowledge. And also, Mr. Akim, I would like to be your friend on Facebook. If you're on WhatsApp, I want to follow you also so that it will reach my knowledge. Yesterday's exercise was quite a very, very great. It was very great and very impactful. I enjoyed every bit of the lecture, and I was confessed that if I had gotten this knowledge about 5-6 years ago, I would be somewhere else. But it's not yet late. It's not late at all. I know I can pick up from here, and I see the future is bright in fish farming. I can see the future is bright, and even in agriculture generally, the future is bright. And I will not leave any stone unturned to participate in this exercise. Thank you very much. Nice to have us all once again as a family. Thank you, sir.
Jesse, thank you very much, Anthony Akubo. Jesse, can we hear from you?
All right, good morning.
Good morning, Jesse.
Yes, I'm so sorry. In fact, let me just even start with apology. I couldn't finish the program yesterday. I had an emergency, and I had to leave the forum. Though I came back this morning, I've been trying to follow up with the program of yesterday. We're going through the recordings, and I was thinking maybe the program was still this morning. The program starts by 8. I logged in by 8. The team couldn't get myself in, so I had to keep myself. I was logging through till I get to 12 o'clock. I discovered that the program starts by 12. In fact, I'm so sorry for not being online since yesterday. I may not say much for now because I've not been able to go through the entire program for yesterday. But I just followed up with what Doctor just said on the spectrum of the program of yesterday. In fact, I've learned a little from, not much anyway, because I just, from the summary, the brief that he just explained, but I am sure that I will make sure I go through everything. So I may not have much to say for now until I go through all the programs of yesterday, sir.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. You're welcome back to our class, our aquaculture class. And yesterday, I'm sure we focused a lot on production. We focused a lot on, getting your farm right, starting right, as my colleague, as my co-facilitator has run us through. All right, but today we'll start from where we left. So we're going to split today's classes into two. The first one is finishing up on, harvesting, marketing, and processing. All right. And then the next one goes into the curriculum for today, which will be 2B, which we will be talking about, financial disciplines and credit facilities and all the likes as is written in the curriculum for, aquaculture farmers. All right. So let's go into our harvesting and marketing. Can you see should I make this bolder?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay. So I think Dr. started with this yesterday, but I want to also start with. Is it clear enough right now?
Yes, it's clearer.
Okay, great. So yeah. So Dr. told you yesterday of how market is the driving force for commercial agriculture. All right. For all of our ventures, for your farm, it should start with who you want to sell your fishes to. All right. For you to decide to invest into agriculture, you should have identified a potential market. At the end of this class, I have 3 assignments for you. 3 assignments for everybody. All right. For you to be admitted to our next class, let me talk like the way our lecturers used to talk in our universities. For you to be admitted to our next class, there are 3 assignments for you. And one of them is trying to identify a potential market beside you. All right. So before you harvest your fish, it's not the day you want to harvest your fish or the week you want to harvest your fish that you start looking for buyers for your fish. No, like 3 weeks before I am ready to sell my fish on my farm, I have all those, all those my regular buyers. I have their numbers. When I start calling them that, hey, I have fish for sale, I have fish for sale, they'll say, Akin, how much do you want to how much do you want to sell the fish? I will say, 650. They will say, no, it's 590 that they are selling fish now. I will now cut the call. Because I know I'm not ready to sell at that time. I will do shakara for them. Are you following me? Now, if it was that I was desperate to sell that day, I'll be negotiating with them. And because I'm desperate, the onus is on them to exploit me. However, once I cut the call like that, they will know that, okay, I'm not desperate. The next day, they will be the one to call me that, Mr. Akin, that your fish, what will you now do for us? I'll now tell them, it's 650, but if you bring 640, come and carry it. They will say, no, that they just bought from this land. They always talk like that. All the fish resellers, they will always tell you that they just bought yesterday, 430 in so and so place, no problem. They always talk like that, all right? So I'll tell them, no problem, go back and go and buy it from there. We'll stop the conversation again. Don't forget, I'm not desperate. I still have like 2 weeks to feed my fishes. I still have feed in my store for the next 2 weeks. You understand? They'll now tell me, okay, that say they should come and see it first. I'll now tell them, okay, when do you want to come? They will say, maybe Friday. The reason why they are wasting time is because they expect that my feed in my farm would have finished, and so I will be desperate to sell so that my fish will not lose weight. Meanwhile, me too. We are giving ourselves backing. I myself, I'm not ready to sell the fish now. I'm waiting for the next 2 weeks to sell the fish. So I still have feed for the next 2 weeks. Are you following me? And so by the time they will now wait like 2 days, they will say they will come on Friday. They won't come on that Friday. They will come on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. Because they expect that by that time my fishes would have been hungry and they will be losing weight. Meanwhile, I'm still comfortable. All right. So by that Tuesday when they come, they'll not say, no, it's 620, they will pay. Of course, by all these ones, the prices they will be giving me is rising because they're the one chasing me. I'm not the one chasing them yet, in quotes. And so with that, we can both find a common ground where I can sell my fish and not make a loss. However, if from the beginning I was desperate to sell my fish, if I had not timed it well, if I had not identified my potential market, at this stage, I will be desperate. My fishes will be eating themselves, they'll be losing weight, and if they offer me any price, I'll just take it. So there's what we call, if you look here, the optimum size of one's operation, all right? Optimum size of one's operation. I told you guys yesterday that in Ibadan, we don't like big fish, all right? They don't like buying big fish. Once your fish is more than 500 grams, if your fish is more than 1 kg, you will find it very difficult to sell it in Ibadan, all right? So if I know I'm raising my fish for 500 grams plus, that means I'm keeping those fishes for like 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 weeks to 4 months, 2 weeks, thereabout. That's the sizes that I should get at that time if the fishes were growing well. Now, I will not wait for my fishes to get to 500 grams before I start marketing that fish. I'm trying to make this I'm trying to make you understand this very well because it's important in your fish business. You don't wait till you're ready to harvest your fish till you get the market for it. No, 1 week, 2 weeks before then is when you start marketing, you start calling people, you understand, and identifying them. You also find some people who just buy, like the Northerners, they deal a lot with smoked fish. You see them in every market. They're always selling smoked fish. So there are like maybe 4 or 5 northern smoked fish markets in Ibadan. All right. The Hausas, there are like 4 or 5. If you go there and tell them you want to buy you want to sell fish, they will come. They will follow you immediately. All right. And then there's a size they like. They don't want the fish. As I explained to you yesterday, we'll do a class I have some videos for you. We'll do a class in drying fish right now. I'll show you. I'll play some videos for you. But they don't want the fishes to be too big because it will not dry well and it will quickly spoil. And they don't want the fishes to be too small because people might not want small sizes of fish. That's number one for the Hausas. But the women if you are reselling in supermarkets and maybe you have vendors that take it to offices and stuff like that, all right? What I have discovered is that those women like what they call karile in Yoruba. That karile means that there are plenty of fishes inside that one pack. That one pack of 1,000, they want to have like 4 or 5 so that it can serve everybody in the house. They don't want to have to break one fish. Do you understand? So they prefer the fishes to be smaller, but plenty inside that pack. than it should be 2 very big fishes. Are you following me?
Perfect.
Dr. Sam, are you with us?
Perfect.
Great. So they prefer it like that. So you must know the market you are selling your fishes to, and that will influence all your decisions. All right. So moving on from there. So you can see a pack of my smoked fish. That's actually, oh, sorry, hold on, give me a minute. I want to make sure that, okay. So yeah, let me play some videos for you, all right, before I talk about, so when you want to.
Face for you, my daddy.
So when you are, I'll play the video like four times so that you can see what we're doing. So this is our fish that we just brought out from the ponds. As you can see, we are weighing them. That's a weighing scale. This is the fish. That's it on a weighing scale. You can see it well. We are weighing them to know. So let's do some calculations together. I hope you have a paper and a biro with you. So let's assume now that this fish is 100 kg that we brought out from the pond. All right, we brought out 100 kg of fish from the pond. You can see us bringing it out, right? This is us bringing it out. We weigh them, we put them inside the bowls, and we're about to process fish. And then, so what we do is that we put the fish, 100 kg of lightweight fish. We put it inside a bowl like this. We add salt. All right, we use salt to treat fishes. We also use salt to kill fishes when we are about to process it. So we put them inside salt and then we cover the bowl. All right, we put them inside salt and then we cover the bowl. And when we do that, the fishes die. That's how we kill fishes when we are doing commercial farming. We don't start killing each of them one by one. No, we put inside a bowl and cover it for like 10 minutes. All of them will die. All right, or if not all of them die, the remaining will be so weak they will be dying in the next like 5 or 10 minutes. So when we put them inside a bowl like that and we cover it with plenty salt, when I mean plenty salt, don't think that your 50 naira sachet of salt, or think like you buy like 50 kg of a bag of salt, all right, and then you just waste it inside the bowl and cover it. The fishes will die. After that, we then start rinsing it, all right, because the fishes always have slime on their body. Slime on their body. So that's what we are doing right now. We put water, put the fishes, put water, put salt, then put the fishes in, remove it. By the time we do this like 5 times, we stir them, we stir it. I hope you are following the process as I'm explaining it.
Perfectly, yes.
Good. So we put it inside the bowl like this, and then we start stirring it. That's me stirring it there. You can see us, we are stirring it. Can you see the time of this video? Did you see the time when it started? 2020. This was just like 3 weeks ago. 10/06/2020. Can you see the time on it?
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So you stir the fishes like this. It removes the slime from their body.
Okay, sorry.
All right. It removes the slime from their body. After this, your fishes are clean. All right, you now cut it. Okay, cut it open and degut. All right. So you now, do you understand how we got to this place?
Yes, very well. They are seeing it, yes.
Exactly. So we removed our fishes, we weigh them. Don't forget to, because these are all important for you as a commercial business. Remove the fishes, weigh them, kill them with salt, stir them, and then clean them from the water. We do it like 5 times for it to be as clean as this one you are watching now. After this, we use knife to cut it. If you can see this fish, you can see that the middle of the fishes, all of them have a line. There is a skill to it. I can't show you right now, but there is a skill to it. You cut it open in the middle and remove all the intestines so that the fishes can dry well, all right? So when you cut it, if you can see under, so you can see the fishes. Hold on, let's go back. So you can see the fishes. We now start arranging them on our smoking kiln track, on the rack of the smoking kiln. That's it. We start arranging it. Now, prior to this time, you should have made sure that your smoking kiln is hot. All right. So if you're using gas or coal, all right, if you're using gas or coal, you should have made sure that it is hot enough. It should have been hot already. Some of these smoking kilns, like the ones we do now from our place here, they have thermometer. So you can watch and see that, oh, okay, it's been 60 degrees Celsius for the past maybe like 20 minutes. So it's steady heat. Are you following me? Steady heat. So with that, you then start arranging your fishes like this. So we arrange it with the back on the rail like this first, so that it will not burn. You know, this white part, so that these white parts don't burn with the initial shock of heat that you put on it. Now, once you have this, all right, you arrange them into your oven like this. So this is your oven, and then you arrange it like this. Do you understand? So you have this like this. We are moving forward to arranging them into your oven like this. So you have them arranged like this, all right? So hold on. Okay, so you can see us arranging more and more. We keep arranging, so you know, based on the volume of fishes you are smoking at the time, all right? So you can see, so these are the intestine, you understand? So this is the intestine. I wanted to show you here that we've removed.
It's a full day today. We are smoking fish all day.
So this is the fish. I hope you followed us up until we got to this stage. And then we line up the fishes in that's the intestine inside a bowl. This is the intestine inside a bowl. And then, you know, the intestine on our own farm, all these people that raise dogs,
we are smoking fish all
the dogs, they come and buy the intestine from us because nothing is wasted. You understand? I myself, I keep dogs too now because I have free food in food for the dogs. So the intestine makes the dogs very big and so it's meat, you know. So and then you have fishes.
It's a full day today. We are smoking fish
so,
all day.
When you arrange your fishes, after like 2 days using just heat, you get something like this. Hold on, let me show you. You get something like this. So now we've smoothed our fishes, they are dried. We now weigh them. We get to pack, whatever nylon or however your pack is. Right? So we have them like this, and then you get this machine. Can you see this machine that we use to seal the pack up? Seal the pack like that. Put a sticker in. Can you see my sticker? You can see my sticker.
What makes sense?
The way them actually, the way them get. Hold on, let me show you. So people have this at the back of their houses. Now this is a smoking kiln. The person has 2 fish ponds beside just the back of the person's house. He has 2 fish ponds and he has a smoking kiln. So every time he just raises his fish at the back of his house, smokes it, and brings out those parts and shows it. Let me show you. Okay. So I was making a delivery here. 1,000 packs of food. 1,000 packs.
I can fish.
I'm coming.
I didn't hear the pump start. Me when all this smoke, I don't clear one blunt. I didn't mix when already 7 guys don't drop.
It's not even my own sticker that will be on top. But wait, okay, I wanted to show you.
Okay, try and do it yourself. So that you show that you have learned something. So the women are learning how to fold the fish. Very good. Mr. Joy, that was very good. Very good.
And this is a full one, but it's like 30 minutes. I don't know if we have 10 minutes.
And the tree So, for sake of some persons, add the salt. I guess I'll just have to show the whole process. I worry, man. So, got to hold. On was set. Got this fish now. You go poke by man. Make plants.
Right. In order for their people to be
Come back. Sorry for that.
Basically, I feel like you have a full idea now of the process of processing fish. Dr. Sam can also, I know Dr. Sam processes fish also, so also but basically, this is where we are now. Fishes have been dried for 2 days. I like saying dried. I like calling it dried instead of you have to your client.
No, what makes sense?
Hello, everybody see me?
Yeah, we have seen this.
Oh, okay. So I'm saying that because depending on where you want to sell your fishes, some of them will require NAFDAC approval, barcodes. Right? Those are things you want to look into the pricing of. NAFDAC numbers, you understand? Barcode. That barcode is what they use to scan. If you go to buy a product, they just scan it somewhere. The price just shows. So supermarkets always want your fish to have barcode. All right. I know that if you are applying for this loan, you have to put processing into your plan and all of that. So these are things. All right. And with that, you get a weighing scale. Now, this 100 kg of fish that we smoked in the beginning, fish is 70% water. All right, fish is 70% water. Maybe Dr. Sam,
what makes sense?
Fish is 70% water, meaning that if we smoke 100 kg of fish, most likely we get between 25 to 30 kg of dried fish. All right, we get between 25 to 30 kg of dried fish. Right? When we smoke 100 kg, in fact, less than 30 kg, most likely between 25 to 27. That's like the normal, that's what we get. That's what we get in dried fish. All right, now if we get 25 to 27 kg in dried fish, I pack 250 grams for a pack of 1,000 naira.
Can you lower the video so I can hear you well?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I was saying that I pack a pack of 250 grams for 1,000 naira. All right. So this pack that you see in front of you right now is 250 grams. 3 fishes, 4 fishes, 2 fishes. The weight is 250 grams. So let's do a little calculation together now. This melange fish that I explained to you earlier, that between 300 grams to 500 grams, is being sold at 500 naira to 550 naira per kg. Right? we've explained all of these concepts to you yesterday. Per kg is being sold at between 500 to 550. Now, if you process your fishes, let's say there are people who smoke fish commercially. All right, they are smoking kilns, but they just make it available for you to bring, process it, pack it for you, and give you back. They smoke at 150 naira per kg. So that means we bought 1 kg of melons, we took it to these guys, and they smoked it for us at 150 per kg. That means our total expense is still 600 naira, is still 700 per kg. Now, it's that same pack that we sell for 700 that will sell for 1,000 naira in the market. All right. However, the reality is that when you are selling like 10 and above, you give them a discount, you know. So you might sell it for 900 naira per pack. All right. So you can see that processing your fish, adding value to your fish, marks your profits up by more than 20%. All right, than selling it live weight. So if you raise your fish, process it, you are marking up your products by more than 20%. So yeah, fish, we are still on fish processing. We are now in, I've told you, I've explained how fish is sold per kg. I've explained the melange, the smoking size is between 300 grams to 500 grams. Some people also cut big fish. Like the fishes are very big. You now cut it, you see part of the edge, the middle, they will cut the middle into like 3 or 4, and then the tail. Why? So that the fishes can dry properly and it can last well. It's supposed to be on the shelf for at least 3 months. All right. So one of the added advantage to fish processing is that you are not, for instance, at the beginning of this lockdown, can I open it for you? At the beginning of this lockdown, when it was March, the moment I heard that the government is mulling over a lockdown, maybe they are thinking of a lockdown. I know that during lockdown, feed supply might be challenged. No staff, etc. So what did I do? I just smoked my fishes. I think I smoked like 2,000 packs of fishes. I just smoked all those fishes immediately because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if we'll be able to visit the farm, if I'll be able to deliver feeds to the farm and all those kind of things. And because of this coronavirus, I just smoked all those fishes, like 2,000 packs. Now you see, when I stored those fishes, they are no more using fuel to change water. I'm no more feeding those fishes expenses. My staff, you understand, staff operations were reduced. So it was just a matter of selling them. It wasn't a matter of, I'm still using my money to take care of them. So that's one of the advantages of processing your fishes, other than, I'm waiting for buyer. So there are ovens. I've showed you the ovens. People use there is electricity, there's coal, or there's gas. But the reality is that we're in Nigeria. I've not seen anybody that is using electricity. You can do it though if you just want to be happy with yourself that my gas, my oven can use electricity, maybe, but we are talking about collecting a business loan here, so we're also talking about what is economical. All right. So the two economical ones, because you will not see light in Nigeria for you to use 48 hours straight light for you to power electric oven. All right. So between coal or gas. All right. Now gas helps in the sense that you don't get to have that smoke, which a lot of people, funny enough, in Nigeria, we think it is it's an additive to the food, that it has smoke, that is what makes the fish sweet. But if you are exporting your fishes, they will send it back if the carbon content is more than so and so. I've forgotten the percentage, but I know they've sent one of my fishes back, maybe 2015 or something like that. In 2015, I sent some fishes to the UK and they sent it back that the carbon content, the smoke was too much. Meanwhile, that's what Nigerians like. They like smoke. That's why you call it smoked fish. You think it's part of the flavor, all right? But the reality is that for health, it might not necessarily be the best. So there's a way now that we do coal and gas that you don't get the smoke. You just use the heat to dry it, all right? Then some people add extra things to their fish. If you go into any supermarket now, you pick packs of smoked fish, you will see the ones that they will tell you they added pepper, they added ginger, they added garlic. Some other people now, they will say they put moringa, you know, depending on who they are selling their fishes to. All these things, no, you know, you add your own, you know, you add your own whatever special spice to make it look like you've done something special that nobody has seen before, so they should buy your products. All right, but you know, people have different types. Me, I don't put anything on. I just put it dried fish. All right. However, I put an extra dose of salt when I'm smoking it so that it's sweet, because a lot of people buy my fish and they just start eating it immediately. As in, it's clean, it's packed. You understand? Stone free, dry, etc. So you can just eat it immediately. So yeah, nylon and packaging. Some people use I had some packs with me now. I brought it out for you. Some people use plastic, all these takeaway packs, plastic bowls, you know. Some people use it to pack their fish. But what I've discovered is that when I used to pack it like that, when you're moving it from place to place, once it's shaking, it will break in. And once I put it in a store, people will not buy it because it has broken. You understand? So I discovered that the nylon ones, it moves faster than the plastic ones that breaks. So for nylon and packaging, you want to use nylons. You want to use, there are Ziploc bags that people use. There's this nylon, and you saw the machine we're using to seal the nylon at that time. I showed you in one of those videos. So then, as I've told you, selling in supermarkets, you know, NAFDAC number, barcodes are the two things they require. However, my experience is that supermarket, they will collect your fish, they will give you the cash immediately. They will tell you that it's when they sell it finish before they give you the cash. Meanwhile, when they sell it, we ask for another batch to stock. So it's as if permanently my 100,000 is with this supermarket, because I will give them the fish on, in quote, credit, because it's when they sell it finish, they will give me my money. But when they sell it finish, they will tell me to bring another one. And that's when I will just collect the money of the last one. So it's as if, in fact, I can point some of the supermarkets that, this one, they are still owing me 50,000. This one, they are still owing me 30,000. And you know, all these things, it will show on the account sheet of the farm. You understand? And it's just as if I have, at a point in 2017, I had maybe like 2 million scattered in supermarkets that they will be paying me 10,000, 20,000, you know, and it wasn't really the best for me at the time. So marketing is very important for your fish, because you discover that, you know, a lot of your money can be outside. A lot. It's a normal thing that my money is just outside, you know. Plenty of people, supermarket we owe you, you know. So what I started doing at the time was that churches and large gatherings, mosques, all right. Most of these churches have like a place where they sell something, maybe books, or like in mosques where they sell tesbah, where they sell jalabia and some of their books also. So I go to the store, I negotiate with the person that, see, I will put your name on the fish. It's not compulsory my name is on the fish. I'm not looking for glory. I want to sell my fish. I'll put your name, Akubo smoked fish, all right? And then we'll put it in your store, and then you sell it, all right? So I started doing that, and then that one, they used to give me my money immediately, because Sunday is a day for service, or Friday is a day for activity. So that day, by like Sunday, they would have paid my money. That's better than supermarket I just stayed for so long. So that's number one. Number two, I remember maybe like in 2014, somewhere in Bodija, there was this place that used to have a lot of traffic. And I and my babe at the time, we used to carry my fish. I'm not joking, literally, we used to stand on the road with my fish, hawking my fishes. Now, what happened was that through that process, the people I met one woman that till today, she still collects like 500 packs of fish from me every last Friday of the month. So now, of course, I won't give you the woman's number. And now I just raise fish somewhere, smoke the fishes, and the fishes just, in quotes, disappear. But I walked the walk to get that kind of market. Do you understand what I mean? I told you now that since 2016, I've been exporting my fishes to UK. You understand? And I know that other people, I have other fish people too, that US, Canada, they send me fishes everywhere, you know. Though the process can be a little tiresome, all right? I've told you that it is slow sales, all right? Fish smoking is actually slower than one day somebody just comes and pack all my fishes on my farm. You know that one, they will just pay the money, boom. You know, but I've also explained to you that the smoked fish brings more money. I've showed you with calculations. I hope you were writing down when we were doing that calculations, that it marks your profit up by 20% thereabout. I've also explained the storage duration, that it helps you, you can store the fishes for like 3 months. So if you don't sell it today, you sell it tomorrow. But my fishes have never spoiled before, that I did not have a way to sell it. All right. So yeah, you have your dried fish here. This is when it's being cleaned and being degutted, and you have a lifespan of like 2 months here, thereabout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take questions as regards fish processing now, before we move over to the next financial, before we move over to B in, before we move over to B, that the fish size, all right, that the fish size does not necessarily have to be big, right? So you can see the size of the fish here. This is a mobile pond, in somebody's house, So one thing I also do for some of my clients is that if they have a bowl in their house, all right, I'll come and set up our ponds there. If you have a gate man, set up your, see, you can see the smoked fish size. I'm trying to see if I can show you the size of the fish so that that it's not so big. All right, you can see this one here. Before we smoke them and process them. All right. So fish before we move over to the 2B of class. So I'll take questions from Akubo, and I hear Awa is a student as well, and Jesse. And so yeah, questions.
Yes.
Thank you. So Akubo, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Then I'll take Awa, and then I'll take from Jesse.
You put fertilizer on the soil.
Can you hear me?
And then you now plant, and
like the process is well explained.
Corn, let me say corn, for example.
Once you, after dressing the fish, after washing it and put it in the oven,
when you want to harvest, you discover that
the time duration, how often do you check it?
It's not what you expected. Can I know what really happens?
Thank you.
Okay. How long do we check it how long do we check it once we put it in the oven? Okay, so Awa, your question.
I don't have a fish farm. I'm interested in starting one just close to my house, like inside the compound. What number do you advise I start with so that I won't be overwhelmed? Because I have no experience and I've never done it. I'm just learning now.
Okay, thank you. Is that all?
Yes, sir, for now.
Great. Jesse, do you have any question?
Okay, yes. I just want to ask, because I saw somebody put it on a write-up. There are some beliefs in regards of the marketing. There are some cultures, some beliefs that they don't accept, or they don't like situations where you see they kill fish the way I saw you did, using salt to kill them. Some prefer let it be slaughtered. Now, in an environment where you find yourself, maybe you have a pond in those kind of a location, what do one do to salvage himself? Because I don't know the nature of distance. Will it be okay to even go outside the state to secure get customers from outside the state? For instance, okay, those who need nice fish, for instance, and then I don't know, can you transport fish for some hours?
I've gotten a question. Thank you, Jesse. So I'll just start with Akubo's question. How long do you check the fishes once they are in the oven? All right. Averagely, I found out it takes like 3 days for the fishes to dry well. So export standard, they will tell you the moisture content, that's the water inside the fish, should be less than 10%. If not, you'll find out the fish will start having mold after like 1 month. It'll start having mold on top. All right. So I found out it takes like 3 days for our fishes to dry that well. All right. However, so what happens is that, okay, let me show you something. Okay, so now what happens, let me pause it here. What happens is that this first rack that is on top of the fire directly, It used to get very hot faster than this last rack that is on top, you know. So maybe like every 3 hours, you come and remove this one and put it down, move this one up. Do you understand? You'll be changing it like that so that all the fishes can all be at this downside for maybe like 4 hours, be at this side for like 4 hours, be at this side for like 4 hours, be like this for like 4 hours. Do you understand? So without all the fishes being exposed to that heat, and generally at least they're there for like 48 hours. After that, you see that your fish will be hard. In fact, you can break it. That's how I used to know that it's ready. If I call them, because I'm not usually, I might not be at this stage now, I'm not the one that is physically doing the fish on the hand. You understand? So if I call them that, Shoshekon, is it breakable? If they tell me yes, I'll know, okay, you understand what I mean? So I hope you get that. I'm trying to make, I hope you get that. So you can see the smoking case. So this left and right, this right and there's the left side also. So I hope you get that. Then the next question is, what number of fishes would you have so that you will not be overwhelmed? Thank you very much, Awa. So look at this. This is somebody's backyard, all right? You can see the mobile ponds the person set up. I think I had a better picture, a better video of this yesterday. Let me see if I can still find it. Okay, yeah. So this is somebody's backyard, all right? The person set up fish ponds. These are 4 ponds and then 2 tanks. Those are the 2 tanks by the side. But you can see the 4 fish ponds, all right? I think one of these ponds takes 800 fishes, all right? Let me show you another one. Hold on. Okay, the video where I was dancing right now, don't mind me. This video too, if let's see when you raise it up, you see somebody's house. This is somebody's house. If you can look at the background, this is somebody's house. That's the person's gate man there. That's the person's gate man's house there, you know? Let me show you. This is also somebody's house. This is also somebody's house that we just set up these ponds there. All right. So you're in good company is what I'm saying. This is somebody's house. You can see that this is a residential place. We just set up the ponds there. All right. So you're in good company as regards starting small. However, I always recommend that people start small. All right. Now, what is small to me might not be small to you. You know, you have to look at your financial capacity. Yesterday, we started by explaining how, I want to show you some other jobs that I've done. Okay, this is Lagos. You know, Lagos, they don't have space. This is somebody's house. We just set up the, you can see the ponds. This is somebody, you can see this one is even boys' quarters. He just set up his fish, you know, in the compound. Let me see if I can show you 1 or 2 more. Okay, this is also the back of somebody's house. All right, we just set up these ponds there and the tank. You can see the 2 tanks, and that's the woman. You know, she's not young, and we just went to set up the farm. We just went to set up this at the back of our house. Those are my boys. Okay, look at this also. Great. See, this is somebody's house also. You can see 3 ponds, all right, that the person has there, and 3 mobile ponds. And let me show you let me show you a video of that with water, because water is the most important. I mean, we talked about this yesterday of how, okay, look at it. See, you can see the ponds, fish inside all of them. You understand? And this is somebody's house. And you can see fish swimming about. All right.
So like each of the tanks, how many can it take?
I'll give you. I taught yesterday on how to calculate stocking density. I will not be repeating that right now. You should go and watch that video. I taught how to calculate to know how many fishes you can put in your pond. All right. So I gave a formula for that yesterday. So I think you should watch that recording and get that again. However, if you have a paper and a biro, you can quickly just write down some things I'm about to call out for you. I'll give you 3 seconds to get a paper and a biro. All right, so we have 10 by 7 by 4, 10 feet by 7 feet by 4 feet. 4 feet is the height, 10 by 7 is the length and breadth. We estimate it takes about 500 fishes. 500 fishes. The full setup is 75,000, 7 and 5. Now, what we mean by the full setup is that we will bring everything as regards the pond. We'll bring the galvanized iron stands that you can see in front of you right now of the pond. We'll bring the pond liner. The pond liner is what you call tarpaulin. This tarpaulin you can see is not normal tarpaulin. The normal tarpaulin is what they used to cover it like this. But these pond liners, you can see on that, they're like rubber. All right. It has a 5-year guarantee. And then the drainage of the pond. The drainage of the pond is the part that takes water out of the pond. Right. So everything like that is 75,000. However, because of distance, the company cannot travel to set up one pond in Abuja from Ibadan. So what they do is that they will send you only this liner, and then you will do the legs by yourself. You get a local welder or carpenter to do the frames for you. All right. So that's 35,000, 3 and 5. So that's 10 by 7 by 4, 500 fishes, 75,000 for the complete pond, but 35,000 for the liner alone. See, so this is, you can see this is another house. This is just the back of the person's house. The person has 2 fish ponds there. All right. These are Asha ponds, by the way, constructed, designed by me, by yours truly. All right.
Okay.
So you can see here, this is the woman. She's the one taking care of our fish by herself. You understand? So, but of course, some of these houses, most especially if I am in charge of the project, maybe the house have like a gate man or something like that, you know. So we train that person to take care of it. I want to show you other projects so you can see. You can see these are literally people's houses where they have you can see that's Asha Point. You can see our name on it. I stopped doing our name because people started reselling my product and they didn't want my number on it. Nigerian mentality. So we stopped printing our names on it. But you can see that we have this pond set up everywhere. People use wood for the frames. You know, some people use wood. These are our ponds. Some people use wood. This is the archery pond. Archery. They hatch their fishes inside that place there. You know. Some people use wood for the frame. You can see somebody using wood for these frames here. And then, what was the question? Okay, so what's the volume that you think you can manage? I mean, that will totally be up to you, you know, and up to your financial capacity. However, you should make sure that you have the water to support it. So you can see these are people's houses. We travel to Lagos. So we travel all over Nigeria actually to set up ponds. See, this is somebody setting up 4 ponds in the back of the person's house. So you can see, sorry. So yeah, I hope that has answered your question. So let me move to Jesse's question. All right, so you can see people just set up the ponds wherever. And okay, so I told you 10 by 7 by 4, 500 fishes, 75,000 for the complete pond, but 35 for the liner alone. The next one is 10 by 10 by 4, 10 feet by 10 feet by 4 feet. It takes 800 fishes. 10 by 10 by 4 takes 800 fishes. The full setup is 110, 110, but the liner alone is 45, 4 and 5. Then the biggest one is 20 by 10 by 4. You can see us setting up for this person also. This person can only take 1. This person's place could only take 1. So 20 by 10 by 4. That one takes 1,200 fishes. 20 by 10 by 4, it takes 1,200 fishes. The full setup is 160, 160, 160. While the liner alone, that's tarpaulin alone, is 75, 7 and 5. So what some people do, as I've explained, is that if you're doing maybe more than 5 ponds, it will make commercial sense for the company to travel down from Ibadan to come and set it up. But if you are doing less than 5, then it doesn't make sense. All you just need to do is get the tarpaulin and do the liner and do the frames. You get a local welder or carpenter, depending on the type of frames you want to do, to set up. You understand, the frames for you, the legs for you. All right. So I'm just trying to play around videos to see different setups that people do. You can see this is a archery that somebody set up. That's our tarpaulin there. You know. So you can see the place that the person set up that, and that's just a little shed, and it's an archery, and it's working. So yeah, let me go to Jesse's question that some places where they don't like fishes being slaughtered. All right. So let me tell you the truth. The truth is that maybe like in Ibadan, your state, I sell maybe less than 20% of all of my fishes that I raise in Ibadan. I have farms in like 10 states in Nigeria, not solely owned by me, as in farms that I control or I'm in partnership with people about. in like 10 states in Nigeria, you know. But my own Ibadan farmed fish, I sell maybe less than 20% in Ibadan. It goes to different states. Most of my smoked fishes get eaten in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. All right, most of my smoked fishes go there. All right, and most of my live fish, because I know who I'm raising my live fish for. So I sell my live fishes in Ibadan. However, you know, as I've explained to you, you can move fishes. All right, people from Port Harcourt, Abuja, they come to buy fishes every week in Ibadan. Yeah, every week. You know, every week they come to buy fishes. So yes, fishes travel all over Nigeria inside buses. If you just see the bus that they put all these bowls, I should have a picture of a bus I was loading. I have videos of all of this, you know, so I can keep playing videos for you guys from now to tomorrow. But I think I have a video of us loading a bus, and the bus takes 2 hours on the road, and the fishes do not die. So I mean, you are safe if that is your. Yeah, let me see this. Okay, no, we are cleaning a smoking kiln here to dress the fishes. Yeah, so I think I've answered the 3 questions, and I would let my facilitator start the 2B. The 2B here. I'll let him start it, and then he will let me know where he wants me to come in. All right. So, Dr. Sam, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening.
Well done.
I'm going to hand over to Dr. Sam now, and then we'll just, okay, I'm seeing a message on the chat. I'm just seeing it now. Let me just quickly answer it. There are some customers that for health issues, they don't want their fish filmed. Okay. There's that. Okay. I've answered this question about, you know, being slaughtered, you know, so I've answered it. So thank you very much. Dr. Sam will take over now, and he will let me know when he wants me to come in to say anything, or if you also want me to just speak into any of the slides when you're done, you will let me know. So I've stopped sharing my screen now, and I'm handing over to Dr. Sam. Dr. Sam, over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Akin Kingfish. There is nothing.
If you start saying Akin Kingfish, you'll be making the names too much. Just leave Akin Fish like that. Thank you very much, General Akubo, for adding King.
I will, yes. So that is just what he has been able to do in the world of fisheries. There's nothing as hearing from the practical perspective to fishing. You can have go to the classroom and learn everything. However, getting your hand, you know, on the job itself is a different thing entirely. So we thank you for the processes you have taken us through. I believe that everyone here has been thoroughly informed. One thing that we also may be asking you to do is like you just give us what it takes to construct a pond, at least the mobile pond. We will also be needing, you know, for those who are going into this industry, collecting the loan, to make the best of it, they need the detailed workings of all of these things with respect to, okay, if I'm going to construct 10 by 4 by 7 or so, or 10 by 10 by 4, or any of these ones, okay, what does it take? You know, the stocking density, this is the number of fish I'm going to put, this is a feed that I'm going to need from the beginning to the end. I believe I'm speaking for them. This is the feed I'm going to need, you know, and of course, like you advised, you know, if I'm going to add value to it and it's going to be 20%, why not add processing to it, you know, and build it into part of the things you're going to be asking, you know, the central bank for, you know.
Maybe I should just add that I have been able to give people invoices because this, I mean, now is just starting their own, but I know this program has been on for a while. And I know that a lot of people come to ask for invoice, all right, to ask for like smoking kilns, the mobile ponds, and even feeds sometimes, because so those are things we can always talk around. I'm sure if you reach out to my facilitator, if you reach out to Dr. Sam can handle all your questions as regards that. So I'm open to helping as regards that. So Dr. Sam, back over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, because it will be of a great help, because somebody in the field will be able to do all of that. He has spoken to me about the invoice. You see, if we have that one, you can make projections that are accurate, and all the form that we're filling in the morning, you'll be able to fill them with accurate figures and numbers that will not betray, speak a language you don't understand, and you'll be able to get the loan. So this second segment will be looking at financial discipline, when you finally get the fund. When you finally get the fund, you need to be financially disciplined. Incidentally, the two lectures we had today, dovetail into many of the things that we'll be saying this afternoon. I was so impressed. I said, wow, this set of students will not flutter, because they've been well informed with respect to managing their finances and all that. So I will just run through what you see on the screen and take you through how you should be able to manage your finances. Number one, how well an entrepreneurship is able to conform to his spending and saving to the plan he has set to achieve, using his monetary goals. So you must have your goal in mind. What do I want to achieve? So, and I want to be able to conform my spending to achieve that monetary goal. For example, in fisheries, you want to be able to produce your fish at the lowest possible cost and sell and make profits. So I'm going to, like Farmer Samson had explained to us, your spending must be focused, not haphazard. It must be focused. And you must have a saving plan, because you really want to make profits. And that means that you're going to get your numbers right. He was making a lot of assumption when he was doing his presentation, but he said, when you are going to do your own business plan and run your finances, you just have to be accurate with your number. So the next thing you lose, sorry, just, okay, good, yes. Signs of an entrepreneur that lack financial discipline. How do I know a man lack financial discipline? We are told last lesson in the morning that we have to make projections. Many of these things we are going to do, you are going to see the end, like I said yesterday, from the very beginning. I want to make projection based on what I can see ahead. For example, when he was talking to us about, just hearing that COVID-19 is already coming in, there's going to be likely, there's likelihood of the system being shut down, he decided to smoke his fishes. So he made credible projection. If he was careless and decided that, I will keep feeding my fish, he may not even have the opportunity of going back to that same farm at the beginning, even though, we're given opportunity to go to the farm as farmers, but he will have made a big loss and be out of the business because of that unforeseen circumstance that just came, without the projection he had made ahead of time. So ability to make projection, and that is accurate, we tell us if you are going to have a sound financial discipline. So when you see somebody always missing, projection, oh, I just miss it, that person is not financially disciplined. And also, unfortunately, again, this one will lead to your low profitability, because you always find one reason or the other why you are not able to keep to the goals that you have set. Also, when you see somebody, always will not pay your bill, will not pay your salaries, will not pay your rents as at when due, it's a big red flag that that person is not financially disciplined. Of course, the last Hacking Fix explained to us that, if you still want to stick to the concrete tank, way of building your fish pond, you are out of date. You'll be spending too much money. Look at what it takes to just set up, a mobile this thing, and look at what it takes to set up, to build a concrete tank. You discover that you are obsolete. You are no longer using the current operating system and practice. And so by so doing, you'll be spending a lot of money. You're not disciplined. You didn't put the end in mind. And you're not operating with the end in mind. So by so doing, you have spent a lot of your funds, of your resources in fixed capital. And your turnover will be delayed. So for a financially disciplined individual, must have the right knowledge to know where to plug your money and where not to plug your money. So these are some of the basic things. There was also, just if you look at what the Farmer Samson brought, because of the basic accounting software he was using, he could make projection of a 10-year plan. So if you don't have that basic software where you can plug in your various inputs, okay, your assets and working capital and all of that, and put a percentage precision to it. If you don't have this basic accounting software, you will not be able to make accurate projection. And once you get it wrong, you are not making an accurate projection, you are going to run into big trouble. So you need, accounting software in your farm that can help you to make credible, forecasts. And once you work according to your forecast, you'll be sure that, you will make a profit that is required. Okay. Now, how do we deal with financial indiscipline? Because you really need to be disciplined. And if you find yourself in somewhere you're not generally disciplined and you really want to be disciplined, there are basic strong fundamentals that you cannot afford not to stick to. Okay, so you must deliver a great product. When he was making presentation, he said, my product speaks for me. When Farmer Samson was speaking to us, he said, my business plan speaks for me, but here, you must ensure that your product or your service is speaking for you. In fact, your product itself will create market for you where you are not there. If your product can ensure that there's a referral, somebody is able to refer to your product, by not even you meeting them, but just meeting your product, then you can be sure that, your finances, your inflow, your funds, will be regular. Secondly, you have to create a strong sales channel, by giving your business option of what account it accepts. What am I saying here? Like he had told you, he being able to create different business channel so that they can accommodate his goods. If you don't create multiple business channels, sales channel, you will have a lot of trouble. He's told you that he knows where to sell his fresh fish. He knows where to sell his smoked fish. For example, I had this experience, because recently I started dealing with smoked fish. and I know that, I had to create my channel, and my channel is purely now staff, because I don't want to create a market I cannot meet the demand, being, also in other employment. So I just take what I could. I do personal sale, and I do, on demand. I do on demand delivery. I've been able to also do a little bit of sending my filleted fish to the UK for sale as well, in my own little way and experience. So the customer demand that, oh, I don't want, fish with bone. So I had to fillet it, smoke it. That's my first experience, and I got it right. It was a beautiful experience. So creating different sales channel, and also you must know how to sell on favorable terms. He had just explained to you from his experience how that, it's not the very day you want to sell your fish that you start advertising it. Also you can decide to, if you're going to sell to the sellers, you have to reduce their price for them. So you have to change your terms to be able to sell. If you're not financially disciplined, you can just sell anyhow without principle. You are going to run at a loss. You also need to monitor your costs. And a major thing that you must know to do if you want to deal with your financial discipline is to manage a trade-off between your ability to predict and your margin. You just have to know all of that, because sometimes it can be conflicting. So this is my prediction. My prediction is I'm going to sell it for $650. However, I know that if I sell $450, okay, and be able to turn it over at a faster rate, I will get my money back, and I'm not making a loss. I'd better sell at $450 and turn it over, as many times as possible, than just sticking to my $650, which I have predicted from the beginning. Secondly, don't buy turnover by using your balance sheet, especially if you have much smaller than your customers. Meaning that, you see, like he's told you what he suffered at the hand of supermarket. I have also tried it, and I ran away from them, because they are already established and they are bigger than what I can accommodate. So they just want to treat me according to their own terms. And I'm not yet, I'm not as big as Aquaculture is, so I cannot afford to just leave my product with them. So I stick with my own turnover, what I'm able to produce per time, because I cannot service them on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. So I don't just go there. So you just have to know your size and stick with it. Also, if you want to be financially disciplined, watch out for the big costs, okay, and not the small one. You see, your ability to stay in the business is to ensure that you take care, you cut down your costs. You don't just go and throw your entire money into the fish without considering the feed you are going to use to feed them. If you throw all your money into the fish cost components, the small ones that need to be taken care of, that is critical to your business, if you don't have money to run it at that time, then you will be at a very disadvantaged position. So you just have to, know how to, manage, the big costs, and know where the critical small ones are essential for your business to continue to run. Then you must measure your performance constantly and objectively. We mentioned it yesterday, how that, but once you know that, you are not making, your conversion efficiency is not high, and that your feed may not be giving you, the weight that is required, it is wisdom to stop at that time. So you monitor the performance of your fish. Good businesses track performance against forecasts constantly. This is what expected weights, but this is my reality. You just have to analyze the variance and take objective decision. Make changes when it is virtually necessary. You can't be traditional and think that you can, stay in the market. You just have to be objective and make changes when it is necessary. Of course, create a mechanism to ensure that poor performance is not rationalized and the goalpost change is justify the results. Flexibility is the rule of the game. If you say, oh, this is how I used to do it and I'm going to stay with it, you may be out of the business before you know it. You'll be spending and you are not getting the resultant effect of your investment. There are 8 guidelines I want you to pay attention to. We've said a lot about it from the beginning of this training. And we started with, you need to have the right mindset, and you're able to stay in business, not just because you are making profit, which is the end of your goal, but you really want to make impact. Once you keep that perspective in focus, you can be sure that, you will be in business. So the right mindset is critical. And it's all a function of your knowledge base, which create the right mindset. So avoiding using personal accounts as corporate accounts. You cannot afford it. We've been told that there's a need for you to operate a personal account, and also have a corporate account. You can't mix them up. You cannot afford to mix them up. Once you set up this farm, make sure that you set up a different account, and of course, yesterday we told you about how to keep records. Financial records must be kept just like you keep, the fish record, the feed record, and the water record, because you also need water record to know when they are polluted, when they are in the right states. Okay, so you also need to keep your account. So we've been told, in that form we're filling in the morning, you really need to pay yourself a salary so that you're not dipping your hands on the income as a result of the sale of your product, your products, and you need to develop a high selling skill. That is very important. He just told us how that, he took the fish himself out to the marketplace, and by so doing, connected with somebody who he supplied to, every end of the month. Of course, you look at, I just got that trick also from him. He goes to the mosque, the church, where he can sell his product and get his money at the end of the week. So that's a high selling skill, how you can collaborate with others. It's not minding, it doesn't mind to get the accolade of the name, but just get the product out. These are diverse way, you can, sell, your fish. So of course, also there's a need for you to delay gratification. It's not, you will not get it overnight. You don't want to be there overnight, and definitely you can't get overnight. You really want to plow back. For example, when you are paying your salary, your self-salary, you can choose to just, pay yourself the minimum with the objective that later on, when the business can pay you what it's worth, is still your business, and of course, the inventory also, we have said it over and over and over and over. Let it speak for you. Let it be able to, speak for you over the period you have of the business. Anticipate and calculate your expenses. You have to do all of that. Okay. Also, your finances should not be based on assumption, but on reality of the business. I think we have mentioned that before. Even Farmer Samson explained it, that what he was doing for us is just based on assumption. What my director also said that, okay, by the time we're sitting down and building your business plan for you, you just have to be real. Okay, you can make projection, but when you get the business itself is get running, you just have to do it, with real figures, with real, real thing happening must be documented as well. One thing that I have found in my experience, if you have workers under you, people are working for you, you just have to query what they are using your money to achieve. Query the expenses. Don't just dole out money, because it is there. You just have to query your expenses. What you need to outsource, go ahead and outsource. At a point in time, you have to outsource some aspect of your investment. Some you have to use what we call bootstrap. What you have in the farm, make use of it. The resources you have around you, you have to make use of it, making sure that you cut down the cost, okay, so that you can have, a profit at the end of the day. Create a well-defined structure. Your organogram must be very correct so that there are no conflicts of role, okay, between you and the other workers. If you have marketing department, if you have production department, and also create a well-defined structures. The reporting system, the line, people's line managers, create it such that, there will not be, cross purposes, and there will be unity in your business enterprise. Of course, you must have other business partners, very critical, that can complement, what you do. Sometimes you may not even have the product in your farm, but they can have it so that you can meet up your customers' demands. But of course, your partners must be someone like you, a person of integrity, whose product is not compromised. Like we were told yesterday, you cannot afford to sell runs if you are in production. You better feed your own your fish with them rather than selling it to them. So your other business partners must have your value system also. We know that there are different sorts of credits for agribusiness. We just highlighted a few of them, and we also asked him to speak on some of these ones based on his experience. But definitely we have personal saving, friends and family, local cooperative association, feed companies, investors, of course, government program like we have it here. Somebody asked a question if you can, spend the loan he's going to collect on getting land and all of that. Each of these sources, have their own interests they command. Okay, so you just have to know what is the interest on personal. Of course, there's no interest on personal saving. You have sacrificed for it. Your family, they may not even put anything. They want it in return. But cooperative do have, the interest expected from the loan they give to you. So you just have to know the basic rudiments of collecting those loans and how you are going to pay them back. Okay, so it's very important. Like I used to advise, you don't just plug your loan on all your loan, substantial aspect of your loan on fixed cost components of the business. You leave it for the operating expenses so that you can turn it around and be able to pay your loan and operate sustainably. Okay, so stock management of the farm. Okay, so you just need to have a budget, you have a manager, you have storekeeper, financial secretary, accounting. Now, at the beginning of your farm, of your setting up this thing, you can be, the all in all. because you cannot afford to pay salary. But as the business expand, like he said, there are many things he's no longer doing in his farm. You just have to get people to play different role in managing your farm. Of course, you know how to keep the accounts. You know how to have an accountability system. You know, your spy camera. You know, he has dog. You must have, you know, cross-checking your records and all that, like he does for many of his clients also. Now, if you go to this link that we provided here, you know, you will see a lot of other things that you can learn from, you know, what we call stock management of the farm. Okay. I will also allow you to give a practical dimension to all of the things I've explained. Looking at the cost-benefit analysis, okay, as the name implies, the costs and the benefits, you know, and it's a procedure of estimating all our costs involved and the possible benefit we will derive from that business or the fish farm, as our case is. But the big question is that, is the business worthwhile? And that's why you have to be objective in your decision, as we are told today. With respect to aquaculture, you just have to be objective. What aspects can I zero in? If, for example, you want to partner with Akin Fish, for example, you say, oh, I just want, and I have a market, I'm good in marketing, and I have 2 to 3 shops. Can you please just give me the supply so that I can go to the market and sell? If that's the aspect you really want to be involved in, is it worth the while? What am I going to invest in it? What is the cost estimate of setting that aspect up? Now, if I want to be involved in just smoking, which is like he explained to us before, so there are commercial smoking, you know, venture. Do I just set up the commercial smoking venture in high density fish farmers? I tell them, okay, I smoke fish and bring down my cost of smoking. If there's an area you want to just zero into, you just have to know, you know, estimate all your costs and know your possible profits. So, like I always said, the end from the beginning. What is my cost? What is my benefits? Okay? And how do I do it? I need to estimate and total all equivalents of all my inputs. What is the value in monetary terms, in Naira and Kobo? You know, and what is going to be the resultant, you know, profit in Naira and Kobo? You know, that is my objective. And the main objective in doing all of this is to ascertain the soundness of my investment opportunity. Is it very sound? You know, is it, you know, very, very sound, such that I'm sure that I'm making the profits required to stay in business sustainably? And there are many things that we do, you know, which we don't have the time to do here. We can do the return on investments. We can do internal rate of return, net present value, and payback period, which is, you know, what is expected of you. We're told, I don't know, I think it's about 2 years, I don't know, to pay back the 10 million possible that this loan you are getting provide for. And of course, Farmer Samson took his time to explain to us the SWOT analysis, which of course will dovetail into all the costs, all your strengths, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threat, with respect to, you know, the cost benefits. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So at this point, I will want my colleague here to just go through this aspect from his own personal experience, you know, how he's been able to, as somebody in the field, you know, financially discipline himself, you know, as a young man, you know, how he calculates his number, how, he's able to set his goal, and all of that. So we will love to hear from him, as we begin to round off this class. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sam. I thought you did beautifully with that. Thank you so much. I learned, and as I said, I thought you did beautifully with that. Yeah. So you've asked that I speak about all of this from my personal experience, and as I said, I thought you did excellent with that. So thank you very much, Dr. Sam. So yeah, let's talk about financial discipline. Let's talk about some of the items written here. All right. First of all, as Dr. Sam ended, he said you should make sure you know the aspect of fish you want to go into. You want to, hold on, give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Okay, yeah. So as he said you should make sure that you know the aspect of the fish you want to go into, the fish industry you want to go to. Not everybody has to become a grow-out farmer. Not everybody has to become you understand, there are different parts of fish value chain you can play across. So once you know the goals, and once you know what you want to do, and you know the loan you are taking, I expect to take between 8 to 10 million, and I'm expecting to return it within so and so years, maybe 2 years or 3 years. All right. But the way CBN does it is that they'll calculate the loan repayment aside from the interest repayment aside. So from the beginning, you should know that, I'm going to be paying maybe 200,000 every month, or maybe 150,000 every month for the next 2 years. What that should tell you is that it's not at the beginning. If you want to now do a grow-out farm, let's say your grow-out capacity is like 5,000 fishes. Instead of you to pack the whole 5,000 fishes and put inside your farm at once, all right? Why don't you stagger your production? Why don't you do 1,000 fishes or 1,200 fishes this month? Then 4 weeks later, you stock another 1,200 fishes. 4 weeks later, you stock another 1,200 fishes. 4 weeks later, you stock another 4,000. So what now happens is that you now have different batches of fish on the farm, so that every month money comes in. It's from that money that will now be servicing loan. Do you understand? And also, from reality, I've discovered you don't want all your fish to come out at the same time. Do you understand? I don't want to raise, if my farm capacity is 10,000 fishes, I don't want to raise 10,000 fishes and they should come out bam at once. No, I want to raise 2,500, 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. The total capacity will now be 10,000. Do you understand? So that way, maybe this month that my fish come out, the fish prices are not so good. I have another one coming out next month. I'm not under pressure to sell the whole 10,000 now that the fish prices are not so good. Do you understand? So, General Akubo, thank you. You are the only video I can see, so please be nodding your head to make me know that you are, to make me know that you are understanding what I'm saying. All right. So you yourself, when you are doing your farm, so yes, you tell me. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sam, also for coming to level. SA2 is letting me know you are here, and somebody else also is inside the car is letting us know. So thank you very much, everybody. So I was saying that you want to stagger your production, all right, so that when you are also, paying back the loans every month, at least there's something that you can even use to, don't let me say some other things online. So periodic measurement of performance, all right. I've explained to you yesterday that with you taking average weight regularly, it means you don't have to wait to the end of 9 months for you to know that you have been losing money, or you understand that the fishes are not doing so well. I told you about decision making, how it is that from like 2 months, I can make a decision to just smoke the fishes and let them go, because I can see that the FCR is not coming so well. I explained that with you yesterday, and then analyzing variances, taking corrective actions and stuff like that, So Hold on. Okay. So, signs of an entrepreneur that lacks financial discipline. Now, see, the truth is, unlike Dr. Sam mentioned something about paying yourself a salary. You see, the truth is that I have discovered, thankfully, when I started my own fish farm, my mouth was not as wide as it is right now. You know, I could still afford to live on a low monthly salary. Now my mouth is wide. You know, I'm chopping the money small. I've not seen the money because I know I've not seen the money like that, but you know, my mouth is wider than it was that time. But I remember that I asked myself a question. I asked myself that how much can I remove from my company monthly that will not affect the growth of my company? Now, don't forget, I'm not saying affect the operations. I'm saying affect the growth of my company. So at that time, maybe 2013 or 2012, when I just finished my NYC, I finished my NYC in 2011, and then that's 9 years ago. And then 2012, so they stopped paying me NYC allowance maybe 2012 January or something. So I just decided that I was collecting 18.5. I started my fish ventures that time, but I was not removing anybody from it because I wanted the company to grow. You know, so I then decided how much salary can I remove based on the financial transactions that I can see in front of me. You know, how much salary can I remove that will make the company continue to grow, not maintain status quo. And so I picked the salary. It was 20,000 at the time. And I started paying myself 20,000. Despite the fact that sometimes, you know, a neighbor can come and say, he wants to do pepper soup for his birthday, and he wants 100 fishes. And that kind of fish price, I will not sell it the way I'm selling fishes to market women. You know, I will sell it per piece. Once you start selling fish per piece, now 1 350, 1 400, you are blowing. You are about to blow. But that kind of market, it will not come every time. It's not every day I will have a neighbor that is doing birthday. It's not every day that I will know a caterer that is doing wedding. You know, so I cannot plan with that kind of thing. I will not write it in a business plan. But you know, that kind of thing, it just gives money, it gives it like a financial boost to the company. You know, but it's still that same 20,000 that I will collect. That's why the fact that we made maybe like 40% much more than usual. You know, and little by little, the salary kept on increasing. The salary kept on increasing to, you know, whatever it is right now. You know, so you want to project as a company. You want to say, okay, we want to raise 2,000 fishes inside this pond. If it's smoking fish, me as Aki Fish, I can budget to say I want to use 150 naira to raise the fish. But you probably use maybe like 220 or 230 to raise the fish, you know, to 300 grams, all right? So I can calculate that means if I'm raising 2,000 fishes and I want to use 220 naira to raise those fishes to 300 grams as smoking fish, it's going to cost me X amount to raise that fish in total. What of processing this, you know? Me, I don't like keeping, depending on the scale of the farm, I don't like keeping processing workers on salary. I keep them on per day job, all right? So when I don't have fish to smoke, they don't need to come and sit down and say they are salary earners. No. When I have fish to smoke, I will call them like 3 or 4 of them, you know, in that community. I like using local hands. So I'll just call, you know, 2, 3 people and pay them 115 per day. Maybe they sit down and they always to cut fish, you know. So I already have them in different farms. I have like 2, 3 people that I experienced, that I thought, I will teach them the first day. The first day I'll be there, I'll teach them how to do everything. But next time I'll just call them, I'll go to so and so place, smoke the fishes, 2 days, 3 days. So instead of a salary, I just pay like 6,000 naira and I factor that into the cost of the expense of smoking fish. You understand? So all of these are projections that you have to do into the future, you know, and not wait for, you know, for it to, you don't wait for that time to say, I don't have money to process my fishes. No, it's part of your plan, all right? So signs of an entrepreneur that lacks financial discipline, constant explanations for low profitability. So you should be able to make decisions. When something does not happen, when something does not work, why did it not work? Let's troubleshoot. We call it troubleshooting in my company. I and my guys, like 4 of us, will sit down around the table that why did that fish not come well? In the first week, we all noticed that the FCR was 1.0. I hope you understand all these terminologies I'm telling you now. So how come the FCR from 1.0 turned to 1.4? Change, Omi. Did you not change the water of the fish? Did you not do this? So when we start troubleshooting, I was able to find out what the problem is and correct it. You know, one of my farms, you know, I did not know that the light was so bad. Meanwhile, they will be waiting for NEPA to change water because I don't like using fuel in my farms, you know, if I can avoid it. So they'll be waiting for fuel, waiting for light, waiting for NEPA. NEPA will not bring the light. And so they were not changing the water as often as they should. So the fishes were not growing as well as they should. They were also not eating as well as they should. So on phone, when I just talk to them, they say, everything is fine, because they are expecting light to change water. But when I came in like 3 weeks, I saw that the FCR had dropped of the fishes. So what's going on? We now troubleshoot that, they are not able to change water well. Why? Because there is no light. Why? Because, you know, so we now have to buy a gen, etc. Of course, habitual delays in payment. You want to keep your boys motivated. All right. I can show you videos. You see all my boys laughing, smiling. In fact, at the point, what I started doing for them was I started putting them on percentage of fish sold. All right. So if I give you like 100 packs of smoked fish and you sell it, you also get a percentage. You know. So with that, all of us were fish farmers in quotes, and you know we're all making money from the system. So you want to make sure that you are motivating your guys well. All right. So outdated operational system and practices, lack of basic accounting software. So I heard Dr. Sam when he was saying that Samson offered you guys, Samson is my friend, Samson offered you guys a business, an accounting software that was able to project it to 10 years. I was listening when Dr. Sam was saying that. So beautiful. That's for them that are, that's for them. I think it helps your, you know, all this loan stuff and stuff. All right. But for me on field, let me tell you something now. See, I projected this year, but COVID hit and I lost money. You know, fishes that I should have sold, I was not able to sell them once the lockdown started. All right. So if I had on paper, if I had calculated 10 years, how do I put COVID inside the 10 years? You know, so you want to, from the beginning, you want to make sure that yes, you have plans, but the reality is that, you know, a lot of things happen. Right now, the prices of fish is like between 530 to 550. If I'm to be honest with you, maybe sometime around November before the prices come back up to 600 naira per kg. All right. So if you are working with investors and you are told that you keep, well, I don't know, let me skip from that. So yeah, dealing with financial indiscipline. Sorry, we wanted to write indiscipline, it was a mistake. So yeah, deliver a great product or service. If you Google mobile fish ponds in Nigeria, you will see Asha ponds. If you see my Instagram handle, Fish, I've been in this thing now 10 years. You know, if I had duped a customer or duped a client, I'm sure I would not be able to stand and talk anywhere. Do you understand? However, because my product it serves me. I was showing you some articles I wrote like 3 years ago. In that first slide, you can see some articles I wrote like 3 years ago. For me to be able to stand the test of time means that I must be offering a product or service that is second to none. You know, so as a fish farmer, what is I'm just thinking now that what will make you a standout? What will make your farm stand out? Number one is consistency of product. You don't want to, that's what I was telling you, that you don't want to raise 10,000 fishes once and then not have fish to sell the next day. You want to have 500 fishes to sell every week. That one is better than have 10,000 to sell in one day. So that when you have your customers will just know that, Mr. Akubo, Mr. Kezio, they always have fish. Every Friday, don't mark up here, it will always be there. It's very important. See, let me tell you something also, that all these pepper soup joints, you cannot fail them. You know, you cannot fail pepper soup joints because their customers will come and they want to eat pepper soup. And if you do not supply them fish, you know, they will look for somebody else. And once they look for somebody else, when you flash them, they'll be doing shakara for you. So you want to have it fixed. I have like some of my pepper soup joints, I have like 2 different bike people that take fish there. Because one bike man can come and tell me that he's not coming today, something happened to his machine. So I have another bike man. So the farm, I showed you videos of ponds in people's houses. So if I have a pond in your house, for instance, let me give you an example. If I have a pond in your house, I will be taking care of it. And then I'll just get a bike man that every Friday, the bike man should come to your house, pick 100 fishes and go and deliver in Mama so and so pepper soup joint, you know. So I don't have to be there physically. It's just it's like a system, you know, and I'm just providing a service. So it can even be your farm, your money, but my service is managing the farm, you know. So create a strong sales funnel, thereby giving your business the option of what account it accepts. Okay, sales funnel, and okay, let me give you an example. That my bike man now is him that will collect cash, and he will drop the cash the next day. He will not go back to go and drop cash. Don't worry, because it's trustworthy. He will drop the cash the next day in the house when he goes to pick the next day's fish. You know, so sell on favorable terms. You don't want to deal people. I know some farms that sign contracts with people that, regardless of dry season, because fish is more expensive in dry season. Why? People that have 18 ponds, they would have sold all their fishes. So those of us that have mobile ponds are the ones that will be selling fish at that time. 18 ponds, the water would have dried up, you know, so fish is more expensive in dry season. But what some people now do is that they will form they'll write like a contract, they'll sign a contract with people that, regardless of dry season, rainy season, this is how much we'll always buy it. All right, so they have it all around. Rainy season, dry season, you always buy it at 650 per kg. So when it's dry season now, when you hear other people are selling 850, you won't tell them that it's not 850, I won't sell my own. No, because you signed the deal that all year round you give them fish at 650. And I tell you all those kind of things, they pay you, because more often than fish price increasing, fish price actually drops. So monitor closely. You know, successful businesses monitor their fishes every day. I think Dr. did a great term as regards talking about managing the predictability, margins, and all of that. Manage performance constantly and objectively. Yeah, 5 financial guidelines for entrepreneurs. Number 1, fish farming is not a Sogologoji. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not MMM. You know MMM, once you put in 5 naira, you get 30%. I don't know who does all those kind of things. Let me tell you a personal secret. Fixed deposit and treasury bills is always a good idea to know profitability margins. All right. Once you start seeing somebody telling you that you know, invest in my fish farm, you'll make 100% and so and so. Run, flee. All right. However, because of the scale of an investment and because of what I've explained to you about, let me explain it to you now. If I have a pond, if my total capacity is 10,000 fishes, and I have a pond where I'm doing 225, each of those ponds will give me profit if I stock them at different times. So that means, let's say this pond, I call it January pond. I call it January pond because I put juveniles there in January. All right. Then this other pond, I call it February pond because I put juveniles there in February. Then this next pond, I call it March, like that. It's possible that I make profit from January, February, and March will look somehow. Then Thursday, then April, May, I make money. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So maybe that is a way to think as regards your farm, rather than, oh, okay, I just put 5 million, or I'm expecting 10 million. That might not be realistic. So the right mindset actually impacts a lot. Avoid using personal accounts as corporate accounts. A very good thing as you start your business is to actually open a company account for your business. You want to make sure that, okay, seems Casey cannot hear me well, but you want to make sure that your company account is different from you. Let people, when you do business with me, see, I'm Akin Fish.
I'm yes, sir. I'm hearing you, sir.
So me, I'm Akin Fish. I'm popular. If you, on Google, just type Akin Fish. It will bring out something about me. But still, the name of my company is Asha Royal Produce Limited. When you are paying, you will not be paying to show anymore Akin show anymore with Akin Fish. No, you'll be paying to Asha. All right. Some of the things that helps you do is that people. There are some companies you cannot do business with if it's your name that is on it, on their account. They will not pay. You know, they want to pay into a company account. The company can be sued apart from you. You know, so you want to do that. We've talked about paying yourself a salary so that it's not as if you just chop all the profits on the farm. Have a budget. A budget is in anticipation of your proposed expenses. So I asked them that, okay, so how much do you think we'll spend this month on my farm? They're not telling me, we used to change fuel, we used to buy gen, we used to buy fuel 2.5 every week. I'll say, okay, for a month, how much is that? 10K. I'll write it down, 10K. Oh yeah. And we used to pay development levy in the community. How much? 500 naira per week, 500 naira. Write it. So when I write down my proposed expenses, at the end of the month, I can juxtapose what was actually spent with what I had anticipated. All right. That way it helps that they just come and tell me at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, they cannot tell me that, sir, I wanted to buy this pipe, but because we did not write it in the budget, and we did not get it done. Hey, it's different from I should just come. They should just tell me they spent 100,000. How did you spend 100,000? From where? You now start telling me, hey, it's one money, it's one this thing. No, it's not possible. Develop a high selling skill. All right. You want to make sure that. So this develop a high selling skill is not necessarily narrowed down to fish farming. It's just telling you that you should learn a skill. My own skill now is raising fish for profits. All right. So learn a skill. All right. Delayed gratification means that it's not immediately the money comes that you spend all the money. All right. Before, okay, I think I bought my first car in maybe 2012. Yes, I bought a 2-door Golf, in 2012. The money to buy that car, if it was just removing it from my account like this to go and buy the car, I probably had this in like 2011. But I needed to remember that statement I told you, that remove the money in such a way that the company can still continue to grow. All right. So delayed gratification. The best phones that people want to use now, they want to use iPhone, they want to use whatever type of phones. It's not immediately that the money comes that you use it to go and buy it. You also think of, oh, okay, how can I make this money make more money to buy that, So always take inventory on your farm, calculate and anticipate your expenses. Great. So query your expenses. That was what I was explaining when I was telling you that they can't just come and tell me they spent so and so money. How come? From where? It should not be based on assumption. It should be based on the reality of your business. So when I told you that at the end of this class, we have an assignment for you to go and find out how much feed prices are being sold. You actually have to go there. Don't just take my word for it. It's not me that will come. I mean, Ibadan right now, having this class with you. I know how much fish prices are sold in Ibadan. When you go to Abuja, the fish prices might be different. So me that I'm telling you now that it will take you maybe 220 naira to raise smoking size, it might be different over there. It doesn't make me a liar. It's just the fact that the realities are different. All right. So don't just make your financial decision based on assumption. Go to the field, go to the market right now. How much do they sell 2 mm? How much do they sell 4 mm, 6 mm? Walk there. They will not chase you away. You want to buy market from them, hypothetically. So get that. You understand? Get that done. Go to fish markets. How much do you sell fish here? Me, I told you now they are selling fish between 500 to 550. Go to your own place and find out. When you find out, collect the guy's phone number. Like that. Have a well-defined structure. All right. Let your farm staff. You might have just one staff or 2 staff. Me, I don't believe fish farm needs plenty staff. You might have 1 or 2 staffs, depending on the scale of the farm, of course. If the farm is like maybe 100,000, maybe we can get like 10 people. But if your farm is still 5,000 and below, I don't think you need more than 1 or 2 people, depending on the type of ponds you are using. I don't think you need more than 1 or 2 people for 5,000. All right. So when we get to 10,000, maybe we can need 3 people. But have a well-defined structure. Let somebody be the boss. Let somebody be in charge of store. That person that is in charge of store should be different from the boss. His own is that I sent 100 bags of feed. You must explain to me with that feed record that we shared with you yesterday, how that 100 bags of feed went. I must see it, and I must see the commensurate increase in the fish through the IFCR. We explained all of this yesterday. So then I have other business partners. Look at me now. As much as I am the face of my company. I'm not the only fish guru in Asha Limited. I'm not the only fish person. We have Akbo, Ademorawa, and we know ourselves. We are plenty. And so if you call me now and I don't have fish on ground, I will call Eluyemi will have fish. I will call this person, so I don't lose my customers. All right. So networking is very important. Networking. So somebody cannot tell me that. Okay, have you heard of this feed? Or okay, have you tried this or tried that? So I learn from other people too, So it's something you want to put at the back of your mind. All right. then right sources for credit for agribusiness. The truth is that a lot of us can actually start something small from our personal savings. As Dr. Sam mentioned, you don't have to come and start with, you don't have to do every process of fish farming. I have people right now that they will come and use 10,000 naira to buy packs, my own packs of smoked fish. They'll just buy 10 packs, they'll sell it. They'll come, buy another 10 packs, go sell it. So that's them starting their businesses from their own pocket. Friends and family also can support. They can know that, oh, I'm starting my farm. If I put it on my WhatsApp status now, for instance, I don't do that. I don't collect other people's money for business, because when I make losses, they will not sit down and understand with me. Their own is how many percent will you give? So me, I don't do all those kind of things. However, I know that a lot of people on my status, once they see my farm, my fish, they're always asking, can I put money there? That might be a good source of money for you. Then local cooperatives and associations. All right, let me see. I'm sharing my screen. I want to show you. I'm a member of CAFAN. I'm a member of CAFAN. I'm a member of GROFA. You know, all of this, I use them to my advantage. You know, sometimes some of these feed companies will come and tell you that if you're a member of, I know there's this Scretin and JDPC. Scretin and JDPC. What they did was that Scretin came to JDPC and said, any member of the association can come and collect feed from us. I'm trying to find a video of when we were there. So those Scretin told JDPC that any member of the association can come and collect feed from us on credit. When you finish selling, you give us our money back. So the association now, they now planned it. Of course, they have to register their members, you know, form like an association again, or for just this part of them that want to take access of that loan. And, you know, they made it work. So as local cooperatives are always a good thing for you to join. That's where you will find out the real archers that you can do business with. You know, the people that will give you guaranteed seed. I'm trying to find, okay, look at, this is GROFA. This is CAFAN, Catfish and Allied Fish Farmers Association of Nigeria. You can see the banner. See Ibadan. This is 2018. This is the president of CAFAN, Catfish Farmers Association of Nigeria. You can see all the feeds that are coming to try to affiliate with them. All right. So that's the president. That's me and the president. This is me and the president of CAFAN. So that's me and the president of CAFAN. Let me show you. So you want to make sure that you are part of, you know, local cooperatives. Let me show. Okay, did I see something now? Okay, so these are like cooperative meetings and stuff. All right, you want to make sure that you are part of. Coming out to see if I can. There's one video. Hey, this is it. No. This is fish feed. There was one video where we were arguing in the cooperative about fish prices. If I look for it, maybe before our podcast, I will show you. We were arguing in the cooperative meeting about fish prices that it's too low, etc. So because we have a collective voice as a cooperative, we can have such arguments. But you can imagine if it was only me going to shout that no, I cannot sell it for you at this price. It's this thing, you know, that it will be a different ballgame. So I recommend that you join local cooperatives and associations. And what those cooperatives also do is that you can do some form of savings with them. And so if you save a certain percent of money, you can withdraw an increased percentage of that money. You know, if you save a certain percent, you can withdraw. You can withdraw a certain amount, a certain increase of your money. So local cooperatives and association is very important. I know like CAFAN has local chapters, so you might want to find out a local chapter amongst yourselves. You will get mentors there, mentors. So what the mentors will do, you know, you get other people that are also doing the business, and they can advise you. They can tell you where to get, you know, some things you need. They can come to visit your farm to make sure that, you know, things are going right and proper. is very important, all right? So feed companies also, you can walk into any feed company right now and tell them that you want them to work with you. They will come, they will take records of your farm. They will come, and I know that now they have marketers. These marketers will come from the feed company, come and be helping you support your farm. I know Olam does it. Olam is Blue Crown and Eco Float. I know Scretin does it. I know Aqua does it. They will send a representative from their company. As long as you are using their feed, they will come and be watching, the results of their feed on your farm. So that's also a good source of feed credit, because I have told you before, feed is 70% of your expense. It's very important. And investors, you can call a group of friends to invest, to bring money and invest together to start a farm or start a project, right? And of course, government programs like this one that you are in now, government programs, loans, but I don't advise anybody to get money from commercial banks, all right? The interest is non-agri compliant. It's not compliant to the reality of agriculture. So I wouldn't recommend you do that, all right? Great. So I hope you'll be writing down your questions, because once we round up this now, I think we'll just, maybe one or two, three other videos. Then as a recap, I will try to show you videos from, stocking, from hatching to stocking to sampling to harvesting to processing and to the fish, so that we just do a timeline of the whole fish cycle. I'll try to do that once we are done, because I'm almost done with this now. And then we'll have last words from Dr. Sam and myself, then we'll take questions, and then I'll give you an assignment for our next class. So, hold on, give me a minute. Yeah, so we're here now. And then stock management on the farm. I've talked to you about having a budget, all right? Have a manager. Let somebody be responsible, all right? Leadership is responsibility. Don't just put 3 people on the staff and don't tell them who is boss. There should be a hierarchy. There should be a ladder. This is the manager. This is supervisor. All right, so you want to do that. I've also explained that your manager should not be in charge of the finances. Let somebody else be in charge of money, or a store. Because store is where you keep the best items. We also talk about account keeping and different accountability systems. I was telling you that I have some farms that I visit once a month, once in 2 months, once in 2 weeks, once every week. And with the record sheets, I shared the pond management record sheet with you. So let me give you an example. I have a farm that the owner is in Nigeria. The owner is not in Nigeria. So me, I am the eye and the ear of the owner of the farm in Nigeria. Now we're on a WhatsApp group. I, the farm manager, and the owner, we're on a WhatsApp group. Every morning, when they go and feed the fishes, they do a video as they are feeding the fishes like this. And they will tell us the kg that the fish ate. I explained all of this to you guys yesterday, how you can know the kg of fish that the fish ate. Now, when they post it on that WhatsApp group, so in the morning, before 9, I've seen it, that pond A ate 20 kg, pond B ate so and so, so and so. Now, the manager, I go there every week. The manager does not know the specific day I'm coming. But if in the morning you posted that you fed them 20 kg, when I come in the evening and I feed them, they should eat that same 20 kg plus or minus maybe 1 kg. So you see these accountability systems. It's not like I now come now, I now see that, they do not eat up to 10 kg. I already know the manager is lying to us. And so you want to, or he tells me we changed water yesterday, and I come yesterday and the water is very dirty. And somebody is lying to somebody. So impromptu visits, all right, and cross-checking of records will help with that, all right? So my second to the last slide, after this, we'll do a little video, and I said I'll do a little video timeline for you, and then we'll and then I don't know, maybe Dr. Sam, do you want to say anything before I do the video timeline?
I think you should go ahead with the video right now. I mean, everything has been well explained.
Okay. So cost benefit analysis for whatever venture you want to go into. Do you understand? For every type, for all of your decisions, you should look at the strength and the otherwise. look at now, if the land is not your own, you cannot do anything for it. You cannot dig the land and devalue the land. You know, so what's the advantage? What's the next you can do? You can do mobile pond. You can do concrete ponds also, but you know that if they leak, you will still put tarpaulin inside. So why need to just put tarpaulin inside from the beginning? So do mobile ponds. Now, if when you're doing mobile ponds, if you're doing just 2 or 3, it might not make sense for Asha to come and set it up. So just buy the tarpaulin and do the frame by itself. So you see how we are comparing and contrasting our decisions for what will pay us. All right. So you know you want to make those decisions. Is the business going to be worthwhile? Have you found where you will sell the fishes? How much are they buying per kg? Or have you found the feeds you want to use? How much will you be getting those feeds per kg? Calculation return on investments. This your FCR will help you with this. Rate of return, I don't even know what that means. Net present value, payback period, and all the rest. So thank you very much, everybody. This is the assignment for you. I'll give you 5 minutes to write it down. This is your assignment before the next class. Number 1, find fish feed stores in your vicinity. In your area, the place you think you want to do your business now, find stores that they sell fish feed and write down the prices. I want to know 3 different types of fish feeds. 3 different types of fish feeds and their prices. 2 mm, 4 mm, 6 mm, 8 mm. All right? 2 mm, 4 mm, 6 mm, 8 mm. I hope you understand what that means. Find out the prices and let us know. So 3 different feed prices. All right? And then find 2 buyers of fish in your area. 2 people who will buy fish from you. All right? 2 people. You can look for the outsiders that smoke fish and get one's phone number and how much you will buy your fish. And then look for maybe market women also. Get 1. So at least get 2 fish buyers for your fish. And then find 3 feed prices for your fish. So I believe everybody has written down the questions, the assignment. If you don't answer this, my
Okay, I think his video had issues.
Are you with me?
Okay, yes, you're back.
Okay. Let me try to do a timeline video for you.
Okay, somebody didn't get the question. Can you repeat the questions for our moderator?
I didn't get the question, so let me do that again. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay, so here are the questions. Okay, so here are the questions. Number 1, find fish feed stores in your vicinity. Fish feed, where they will sell the feed for your fish. Get 3 different feed prices. So get the names of the feeds and get the different prices. 2 mm, 4 mm, 6 mm, 8 mm. I explained all of this yesterday. And then find 2 buyers of fish in your area, 2 potential buyers for your business. All right, that this is who I will sell it to at this price. I want to know prices, so we'll compare it. We'll have a discussion about it in our next class. So 2 buyers of fish in your area. All right, so yeah, I believe we are done with this now. Yes, we are done with this. So let me do a timeline for you, a video timeline. Okay. So this doesn't have a volume, so I'll just speak over it. All right, but I trust some of you watched this yesterday, but I'll just do it again now. So this is the beginning of the life cycle of fish. We are making we are about to make baby fishes, what you call fingerlings and juveniles. We are about to make them here. This is me here killing the male fish so that we can remove the sperm sac. The sperm sac is where the male stores the sperm that we will use to fertilize the eggs of the female fish. So we are about to make those baby fishes, to make the fingerlings and the juveniles that people will stock in their farm. This process is best by fingerlings and juveniles, all right? So we are removing the sperm sac of the male. The female also has been injected before this time. She'll be injected with ovulin. What the ovulin does is it allows it easier to remove the egg, to strip it. Stripping is using your fingers to press out the egg from the female. So that's the sperm sac that we just removed. Now you can see that's the sperm sac, that white thing in my hand. That's the sperm sac we just removed. So it's always good to have two males on ground, because if you kill the first one and the sperm sac is not good, it's not then you will start draining the water of your pond to catch another male. By that time, time will be going, and you are losing a lot of time. So that's the male fish. I can see somebody dropped the chat, so let me just open that also. Yeah, that's the assignment. Thank you very much. You dropped that here. Dr. Sam, thank you for typing that in. So, yeah. So after that, we get the female. Use a damp cloth to cover the eyes. It makes them not struggle as much. A damp cloth to cover the eyes. It makes the fish not struggle at much. You can get two people, all right, to hold the fish with you. This is the female now, the female. And we'll press the eggs out of the female. We've removed the sperm sac. We didn't do anything with it. We just kept it somewhere. And this is the female that we have injected with ovulin. And then we start pressing out, and the eggs. That's the eggs that we're pressing out. So that's the eggs that we're pressing out. We'll strip the eggs out. They will come out from it easily because we've injected her with ovulin to prepare her for it. All right? And then you make sure the bowl is dry. So we strip. So you strip out the female egg, and after doing that, we weigh it. That's it. We just weighed it there, and then we wanted to use two eggs, two female fishes. So you can see this one also. We're pressing out the eggs, press out the eggs, press out the eggs, press out the eggs, and then we've already prepared the ponds that would spray the eggs on. You make sure the water in that pond has stayed for 1 day so that it is aerated, is very oxygenated. And then you now burst the sperm sac that we remove from the male. We now burst the sperm. That's the sperm that is dropping in it. Those white things, those white drops, yes. You now drop it on the eggs, all right? So it fertilizes it. So some people use saline solution to mix it. Saline solution, that 150 naira saline solution you can buy from any pharmacist. So you just buy the saline solution, and with that, you can see me mixing the eggs there. Yeah. So after mixing the eggs, the fertilization takes place within 1 minute.
What time is best? You want to explain the time that is best for fertilization processes, the daytime, the nighttime, the afternoon? What time is best to get the best listing from your experience?
Yeah, Dr. Sam, I didn't hear that question. Come again, please.
I said the best time to do all of this, the morning, the night, season,
Yeah,
from
so
experience.
early morning or late night is good. However, don't forget that this process has started like 12 hours before this when we injected the female.
Very good.
And so if you did it in the morning, that means all this one you are doing now, you'll be doing it in the night.
Yes.
That might not be as convenient if your farm is not a living farm. You know, that might not be as convenient if your farm. That means all this one I'm doing now this morning, you'll be doing it in the night. So if you have staff, where will they sleep? You understand? If they have sleep on the farm and all of that. So we injected the female in the night so that it was ready in the morning, which is when we are doing this. Okay.
That's good.
So, and then also cold temperature does not make the fish come out well. You won't hatch your fishes well. So, and cold temperature is usually in the night. So yes. You want to, so those are factors that makes us mostly inject in the night and do all of this in the morning. So I just went back so that you can see us mixing everything. I shared it into two because the hatchery is very big and we need to spread it. So your net is already inside water that you've kept aerated for 1 day, all right? And then you spray the eggs, all right? And then you start, after like 1 hour of spraying the eggs on it, you then do flow through. Flow through is that water should be coming in and living in because you want that water as aerated as possible. The more aerated the water is, the better result you get from your hatching. All right. So that's us spraying it thinly. You spray it thinly over the net, on the net. The eggs will stick to the net. And then when the eggs are fertilized, once they hatch, they will drop. After 1 hour, flow through oxidation of your hatching vat should be carried out to ensure the best results from your hatching. So after that, your eggs will now drop through the holes of the net. The fertilized fish will drop down to the base of the water. All right, it will drop down to the base of the water. And then you remove the net because the bad eggs that did not fertilize, that did not hatch, will still be on the net. So after 30 hours, 24 hours, actually 1 day, but most people wait for 30 hours, remove your net. The hatch fries would have dropped to the bottom of the vat. Then you shake well to remove all the fries that are still on top of the net. You will see us shaking it now. So you see us shaking the net so that the fries will drop from it. All right? And then you remove it, you remove your net. So all you have left there should be hatched fishes. All right? And then for the first 3 days, you won't feed them because they will still be eating the yolk of the eggs. All right? But after like 3 days, they will come to the top and start looking for food, which is when you now start feeding them. So this is the result. You can see.
They need to know what to feed them with, please.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't expect anybody who is collecting loan to say he wants to do this. So we feed them with Overprim or something like that. I've forgotten the name, but I'm not expecting anybody who is doing loan to say you want to do this. This is not bankable. It's not. Do you understand what I mean? Let me be honest with you. I'm a professional hatcher, yet sometimes I can hatch and nothing comes out. When I mean nothing, I mean zero. Nothing comes out. But I'll do it again because I mean this is it. I have to supply fingerlings and juveniles to people. All right, but you cannot collect loan and be telling them that you're not sure something comes out. Do you understand? So
moreover, you don't even have a market for it.
Exactly. You are not even you don't have as much reputation as I do that people need to buy your fish. So this is the result you get. You get the fries. As you can see, the fries swimming around and playing around. These are the fishes you keep that will become fingerlings. After 4 weeks, they become fingerlings and juveniles. So that's the beginning of the hatching process. All right. So like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, they are like this size. All right. The hatcher has kept them. And then they become like this, fingerlings. You can see them now. Those fishes. The taking care of it is work. It's not small work to keep them for 4 weeks, 4 fishes, because they're like babies. They are fragile. You know, it's a lot of nursing, a lot of temperature management, you know, etc. So let me just check for the question now. It's just me. I can't see the question. No.
Yeah, you're talking about the fish, the quantity of sperm that will be applied to the...
Is there any measurement for the quantity of sperm to be applied to the eggs? No. No, that sperm sac is always enough. It's not that the sperm was not enough that did not make the fishes hatch. Do you understand? It's not, no. Then besides, it's not as if you will keep it for something else. It's the moment you cut out the sperm sac, within 1 hour, you lose it. You lose the virality of the sperm sac within 1 hour after cutting it out. So it's not as if you are keeping it for anything. You understand? So you just use it like that, and whatever you just make sure you store it.
You must get a very good brood stock.
Yes, and that's why I said you also want to make sure you have 2 with you to ensure that if the first one does not come out good, the second one comes out good. So you can drop your questions here. So, yeah, you now get your fingerlings or juveniles, all right? So you get this from your farm, from the archer, reputed archer. I also taught you yesterday how to make sure you are getting the best fingerlings or juveniles. I taught you yesterday, and if you Google an article on it, I'm sure one of my articles batteries will soon die. So, and Dr. Sam, get ready to take over with your screen once my battery dies. So you get that size. So you now introduce this into your ponds. All right. So this is a concrete pond. The other one that you saw me introducing to was an earthen pond. So we've talked about how the procedures to do before you introduce your fishes to your pond. We talked about this yesterday. Get the video, you watch it. And then, yeah, so we introduced the fishes to our pond, all right? Okay, so let's say our fishes are 4 weeks old now. So I've taught you about feeding and about picking a time to feed. So those fishes, hope you are following how the fishes are growing. They are 4 weeks old now, you can see them. Because we do spot feeding, that's we feed in a spot. The fishes already know where to come and eat their food, all right? Because we do spot feeding. So, hold on, give me a minute. Let me see if I can plug my laptop so that I can finish this teaching without it dying. Okay, so yeah, that works. Sorry, let's see if that works. Okay, so so our fishes are 4 weeks now. We've been keeping them for 4 weeks plus. They started as an hatching that we hatched by ourselves, and now they became fingerlings that we introduced to our pond, and now they are at this size. And now we can. So now we now go for the fish feeds. All right. So fish feeds. All right. I've told you that as a basis, all of us agree in archery that at least your juveniles should be able to pick 2 mm size of feed. It's like an unspoken rule amongst all archers that your juveniles should be able to pick 2 mm size of feed. So this blue crown feed, this eco float feed, 2 mm. As I told you before, the bags are 15 kg. And so now these are the feeds that you want to get. So you've gotten your feeds, you watch them as they hatch the fingerlings and juveniles, you got your feed, and now we are feeding the fishes. So now after like 2 weeks on the farm, we sort our fishes. So the fishes are growing. We are sorting them. We're removing the big ones from the small ones so that the big ones don't eat the small ones. My laptop will soon die in like 10 minutes. When it dies, I will come online from my phone and then we'll try to take your questions from there. But basically, that's what you want to do. All right. So we sort our fishes. You can see the fishes are still growing. So we are still continuing. And then by then our fishes are bigger. All right, the fishes are bigger now. We are still doing our sampling, our FCR. We take 100%, and we take 10% to measure it so that we can know so that we take 10% to know, so that we can know the average weight and the FCR. All right. So you are still following me. We are still going with the cycle. After that, we still do operations on the farm. The fishes are growing bigger now. And by this time now, they should be like 3 months plus. We are on the farm. We are managing the fishes, clean water, good food. We are giving them Sorry, let me see. Okay, so we are still feeding our fishes. If we want the fishes to become table size, then this is the size. Then, you know, if you want your fishes to be table size, you want to keep them for like 4 months plus. So these are mobile ponds that, you know, that we set up here. And you can see that the water, we're managing the water. Maybe like after 4 months, we now remove the smoking size, the ones that are smallest. These are another secret. What people do, they keep the bigger ones, the smoking ones, they will now remove it for smoking. You know, you can see us take, you can see the weighing scale there. We are removing that one. You know, so we weigh it and then we go and smoke that one. And then I talked to you about feeding yesterday.
Pour your feed slowly, 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 watching them as they eat your feed. You don't just pour all the feed at once and hope they finish it. No, you keep pouring gradually, gradually, until they are filled and they start going away. This is packing fish. Thank you.
I talked to you about that yesterday. Then, okay, so we've started smoking. We've removed the ones we want to smoke, all right? And then we measure them as we bring them out from.
For you, my daddy.
So we measure the fishes as we bring them out from the pond. We take their weight, all right? So we take their weight. You understand? After 3 months, we take their weight as we are removing them from the fish. After that, we clean the fishes. We clean it with salt, all right? We clean it with salt and make sure it is free from slime. That's me there stirring the fishes, cleaning the fishes. After that, you know, you rinse, you cut, you clean, all right? You clean the fishes, and then, so you clean the fishes, then we start cutting, cleaning, folding into the rack, all right, into the rack, so that we can put them inside our oven, all right? So that's the fishes. You can see the fishes. These are the ones we just got out from the pond now. I'm just using this as a timeline so that you get the overview of everything. So from that, you know, after cleaning and all of that, we put them inside the pond. So, you know, we put them inside the oven. So from there we move, follow me as I'm walking. We open this. Yeah, so we have them there. We have them there like this. So once they are inside the oven, we will now take the measurements. Once they are dried, we bring them out like this and pack them inside nylon. All right, inside the pack, however we want to pack it. All right, once it's inside the nylon, we seal it with our machine. You will see the machine now. It's a simple machine. You can buy with like 8,000 or something like that. You know, so we have this. You seal it. You see the machine. So that's it. We seal it. You can see. Put it inside here. Seal it. Bam. Pack. That's a pack of smoked fish. Then it becomes like this. It becomes like this now. This is our pack now. You can see that's our finished product. All right. So that is for the processing like that. And then you carry it and go and deliver it. Let me show you as we are carrying it to go and deliver. Yeah. Take it to wherever you want to have it delivered. All right. That's packs of smoked fish in my car as I'm going to deliver the fishes. So I want to show you. You can see.
Yeah, I improve hard guy.
Yeah. So you have all those packs. Right? So some people ask for 500 packs, some people ask for 1,000 packs, and you take it there personally and you go and deliver. You know, so
This is Akin Fish's fish.
so you know, you want to yeah, I think we've tried. Okay, so if you add mobile ponds, if you set up some of our mobile ponds, this is what you will see. So you know, these are bigger fishes now. These ones now, they're almost too big for me to smoke them. I won't smoke them, you know. I won't smoke these ones again because they're already table size, you know. So
Have it?
And we want to appreciate a practical fish farmer who is in the industry. We agree with me that just pictures that we see is more than 1,000 words. And we have been taken to the farms to see for ourselves how it operates, and so that we can know what aspects of fish farm we can take advantage of. It's always good to see it in the total perspective so that you can know where to plug in and take advantage of. There are some few questions that came while he was presenting. I've tried to explain them. So I don't know if you saw them. Somebody was talking about, the sports feeding. Will it cause mortality? Yes, it does. It does. Like what you saw, the last video you saw, just pouring it for them, them, they will injure themselves. Even the smaller ones may not be able to eat. So what I will personally advise is, okay, our battery is also almost dead. There's no light at home. Okay, I will try and, okay, she's not even here again. We'll try and round up, okay, as soon as possible. Anyway, there are disadvantages to feeding on the spot, as I stated in my response here. It promotes unnecessary competition for feeding among the fish, okay? Also, it may lead to even uneven growth, because the big ones will always come and eat first. If they are not satisfied, the small ones cannot come. Or if they come, they also can become the feed itself. So any external disruption during the feed might lead to disruption of the entire process, since fish might not even eat enough. Okay, so if we have a big dam like you saw there, what I do advise is you have 4 different points. You can put it here, move to another point, put it there, so that they can spread. But the advantage of feeding on the spot, is when they are fingerlings and juvenile. General Kubo, I guess you are tired. You've been sitting there for the last since 8 o'clock. I'll round up now, so we can take it off from here. So once, if it's fingerlings and juvenile, please feed them on the spot, because you'll be able to monitor the food. The feeds are very expensive. If you just pour it for them, you will waste. So that's the advantage. You reduce waste, okay? And you also ensure that each of the fishes, they eat just what they need, okay? Then you also ask a question which I want other people to also take on. Say, that kind of sound, what kind of disruption, like sound, like shouting or noise of generator? No. You see, by the time they know the sound from the beginning that call them for food, that is the sound they respond to. If it's clapping, you start with them. They will respond to clapping. If it's whistle, they will respond to whistle. Okay, he's back right now. So you're welcome back.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, my laptop died, so I had to log in through my phone now.
Okay. So we just appreciated you. I was just telling them on, the fact that there could be a disadvantage when you do on the spot feeding, how that there's unhealthy competition among them. There can be uneven growth. But on the spot feeding is also very good for the fingerlings and the juvenile. You reduce the waste. You can monitor, what you are giving them, and you are sure that they will all eat. But yes, so that is very important. And I also told them that, the sound you back them with, if you continue with that same sound, you can be sure that they understand when you are making noise. If it's a random sound, they will not respond to it. But the sound that you're giving them from the beginning, that is the sound they are used to when it's time for feeding. If it's another random sound, they will not respond to it and all that. So that is the question, that came, and we are able to answer it. So I think at this point, we will stop for today, and tomorrow we will take the subject matter of
tomorrow again.
There's class tomorrow, right?
It was Friday.
Yes. It's only Friday that we are free. There's no class on Friday. But tomorrow is just a very few hours. We just round it up. Many things has been covered, really. Many things has been covered with respect to what you want to be trained with. So I sincerely want to use the opportunity to thank our fish experts in the field. It's quite an eye-opener to many things. I believe that we will still come back to you even after the training as our resource person in practical terms. In fact, many things I know now, I may likely rejuvenate my farm in Ibadan. So I will come to Ibadan personally to see, so we can visit my farm and see how we can engage my redundant manager there, with the fact that one can actually have records and monitor what they do on a daily basis. So it's quite interesting, and I know that our participants were quite schooled.
I'm going to do the video of my ponds when we're feeding them before my laptop died. Did you see it?
Oh yes, we saw it. Yeah, we saw it. So I would like General Kubo to just say a word before we round up this session.
I want to hear from everybody. I want to hear from everybody actually. After everybody, General Kubo.
Is he there?
Can you hear me, sir? Hello? Can you hear me?
I'm trying to unmute you from my
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
Yes, I hear you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I keep on enriching my knowledge whenever I meet us on this forum. I'm so appreciative. I know that the knowledge I've gained here will go a long way to assist my farm. But when I first stocked my fishes, I sold almost 2 million naira in fresh fish to the middlemen. If I had smoked it then, I'd be something else. So, like in the area of power, NEPA is not dependable, and buying diesel to power the lister is not also easy. Do you have any option like this solar, which the cost of solar that you can work on the pumping? Because I sank a borehole in my compound which I use. That is one question. And also, I may need an architectural design so that where I will have my ponds, where I smoke my fish, where I do the washing. I don't know.
Wait, is there any way I can share my screen from my phone to show you what I do to somebody? There's no way I can share my screen from my phone. Okay, you know what I'll do? Let me send something.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow I will show you. Okay, now that you mentioned it, I'll show you like an architectural design of the farms I designed. So you can use that as a map for you.
Okay. So all right, thank you very much. When we meet tomorrow, I think I will ask my question. Let me not waste our time since most of us are tired.
So KZ, let's hear from you.
Yes, sir.
In the class, what pick into the class? Let's hear.
Yeah, I came to the class late. Sir, I actually have 18 ponds, and I just transferred some fishes into the 18 ponds, but I'm not too encouraged with their feeding. Yeah, it will take some time. It has been about 2 weeks now, but their response to feeding is still not the way they were when they were in the plastic tank.
Noted. Is that all you want to say about your class?
Yes, sir.
And you do not learn anything. You are not appreciating your teachers. Nothing. The only question you have is
very, very, very appreciative, sir. In fact, for half of the things I learned when I paid to learn, I think the little one I entered into the class now, I've learned a lot, especially in terms of the farm management.
Thank you very much.
So you learned more here than what you paid for.
To learn. Yes, sir.
We'll see. Thank you very much, Casey. Over to you, Jesse. Let me hear from you also before I answer.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I don't know because my battery is almost less than the percent. I just want to confirm what's before my question, sir. What's the time for tomorrow's program?
The time for tomorrow program, same time. Let me see, confirm just now.
The time for tomorrow's class is 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Yes.
Wow.
Guess on the timetable.
Because I've been trying to log in since 8 o'clock, since 8 a.m. And SS.
No, I know for today we had a class before the agri classes, the categories of the agri classes. There was a business class, business management, and business plan class first. So this class started by 12.
It's okay. Is it okay?
Thank you very much, everybody. Let me quickly answer some questions. Number one, as I've said, tomorrow I'll bring like the design for you to see. Then solar for ball. It sounds good, yeah. And I've asked one or two of my ball guys. And they gave me some quotations that were not realistic for me as an upcoming artist at the time. However, it might be something you want to explore. But what we now do now is that once you can get, if your ball surface pump, this mud pump, I can show you a picture tomorrow as well. This is high, the water table design. All right. Alternatively, change the pumping machine inside the bowl. Most of these people put 1 horse pumping machine inside the bowl. Meanwhile, that one takes like 8 hours to pump a pond of what volume. Do you understand? So if I can change the pumping machine to like 2 horsepower, I can change the pipe, 1 inch pipe to like 2 inch pipe. That will also be an economical working for me in the field as Dr. Sam is. Then talking about response to feeding, yes, we introduce the thing with fish is when they are inside the tank, because you can see full scope, you can see the whole tank, so you can see the food response. When they are in eating pond, the eating pond is very big. Some will be in one place, some will be in another place, some will be on that, some will be on top. So you see the rush in the tank. However, the more they grow bigger, the more you start seeing that rush. If you see some videos I was trying to show you, can see the rush when they were rushing. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Dr. Sam can speak into it.
Thank you very much.
Casey, you must react. We told you about sampling, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's very important you do sampling and check out what exists before and what is existing now. And that's why you must pay attention to the feed conversion ratio. Are they adding weight commensurate to the feed you have given them? So it is based on that you can make a decision either to even stop feeding that fish itself, so that you not keep wasting your money and you not get your return on investment. So it's time to take stock. It's time for sampling at least an average number of the fish to know the state of your fish. and so you can take an informed decision on that farm. Or else, we find situation where people will keep pouring feed. At the end of 6 months, they will find out that they have only one big fish and 100 small fish. And they will say, oh, what happened to my fish? Somebody has come to steal my fish. Nobody has stolen your fish, just that you have not followed the procedure of pond management and fish management. So at this point, once again, I, on behalf of my director and the crew at the background, helping us to coordinate this training, I want to thank first and foremost, or I will do that last, all participants who had seen possibilities in aquaculture and have a passion to pursue the dream. You remember where we started from? We said there is a gap in production and it's getting wider and wider. So there are a lot of opportunity in aquaculture, but it's not, you agree with me that you can't just be half awake and think that the money will just come into your bank account. You really need to work. I see, when you see him on the field, you know that there's a lot of work to be done, but you can be sure that there's good return on your investments in aquaculture. Once again, I want to thank Akin Fish, for spending his time. You cannot, if you know his schedule, you will know that he has actually invested in us, in giving us knowledge. It's not fish that we need, but the knowledge, it cannot be quantified. So on behalf of my director and the entire management, we say a big thank you. I want to assure you that you are not just training one person or 3 persons here. This same video will be used, to train a lot of people. Even the knowledge, the general, which is and KZ and the other person who had just left now, Jesse, they will go ahead and impact others as well. I think you are doing a good job being a change agent in the world of fisheries. We appreciate you. And God will really bless you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are all mute. The rest are muted. Alima, are you there? So we'll bring this meeting to an end. We'll see tomorrow. I will still be talking with. Okay. Thank you, Alima.
Thank you, facilitators. We really appreciate and we learned a lot from you. And we thank our participants for the patience they had during the class. And I hope they learned from our facilitators.
Yes, they do. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I made a request.
Okay, what's the request?
Your phone number. I'll collect it from there.
You can meet your facilitator. Yes. It's there on your course page. The contact of the facilitators are on the course page. You can check, meet your facilitators.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.